aka Indigo Sky, aka y'all know what it is. Trigger ranking, y'all know who it is in this bitch. All right, man. I gotta run to get my other phone for the content. I'll be right back, y'all. Just give me a second. Be right to back. Um, shit. Cut that speaker on too. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I fall up in this. All right, now we about to pop up. We about to pop up and pop out. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show it. All right, y'all. We about to react.
Upskill your own way with custom learning paths.
About to react
Tailored by
to
in-house
Candace
experts.
Owens,
Get
man.
unique recommendations on courses, hands-on experiences, skill.
All right, happy
By the
Thursday,
react to Candace
everybody.
Owens.
And I'm serious. You should be happy and you should be merry because the tapestry is unraveling, right? I mean, there has been an extremely carefully woven tapestry of deception in all of our lives. And I think that Charlie Kirk's assassination, while of course it was a tragedy, has also worked to awaken the world to a deeper evil, something more sinister that sits below. So today we are going to talk about the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, because suddenly Kash Patel wants to distance the feds from them. I don't really think that's possible, and I'm wondering why he chose yesterday to do that. Plus, we received a few tips regarding the woman who is missing from the footage, and while we certainly cannot confirm that it's actually this individual, we do find the fact that she gave a public testimony to be pretty interesting. What she says is interesting. Also, what she does for a living is even more interesting. Our witness tree grows. Welcome back to Candace. Okay, I need you guys locked in because things are becoming increasingly interesting, okay? Yesterday, the FBI made a rather curious announcement. They announced that they were going to cut ties with the ADL, right? You know what the ADL is, the Anti-Defamation League. And the reasons, well, because they had listed Charlie Kirk and his organization, TPUSA, to be extremist. Everybody's an extremist according to the ADL. But I want you guys to know that this is not a subtle announcement. We need to unpack this announcement. Because I don't care what side of the aisle that you are on, you need to understand that the ADL is not, nor has it ever been, what it purports to be, okay? purports to be, oh, we're just looking out and hate speech and extremism. No, 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 no. The reality is the ADL was born out of a Jewish Freemason organization known as B'nai B'rith. Now, you're in my book club, you know this, but
She be knowing about some shit, bro. I didn't know that they was part of the. Honestly, this is my first time ever hearing about the ADL. I never heard of ADL. I know about the Southern Christian Leadership, something like that. I know about that, but I never heard about no ADL.
Freud was a member of B'nai B'rith. We were discussing, we're reading right now the book, The Assault on Truth, and Sigmund Freud is very relevant. You have to learn the history of Sigmund Freud. He's in all of our schools, all of our universities, taught as a hero, the history of the psychoanalytic movement. Look, the reality is, him and all of his homies were covering up for incestuous child abuse. That is a fact, okay? They can't wipe that stain away. Quite literally, the way that they did this was through the mechanism of gaslighting. That's what he is the father of, public gaslighting, okay? That's what modern psychology is. They moved to instead diagnose people who were being abused, right? They were using their credentials, I'm a this, I'm a that, to make people, maybe the wider public, believe that their gaslighting was actually legitimate. That is what the book, The Assault on Truth, unpacks. It is therefore a must read because you have to realize how horrific the crimes were that were being committed that they were covering for. So Sigmund Freud was in B'nai B'rith, and the ADL was born out of B'nai B'rith. Why? Well, because they put the organization together to defend a pedophile and a murderer. His name is Leo Frank. Leo Frank was an unbelievably wealthy Jewish factory owner down in Atlanta. And this is 1913. It's very relevant. You should know this happened in 1913. And this is the American South. You know what was going on there. And Mary Fagan was a 13-year-old girl who worked at his pencil factory. She was found brutally raped. Okay, she's a Catholic girl, by the way. I want to say that. She was a young Catholic girl. And Leo Frank, even with all of his money, all of his connections, the best lawyers that money could buy, connections all the way to the Supreme Court, he was so guilty of what happened that despite the fact that he tried to pin it on a poor black janitor, even in the segregated South, where people were just like, hey, give us any reason and we will go lynch a black person, the racist segregated South, they still found him guilty. Okay? They still found Leo Frank guilty. And so much has been written to try to obscure this still. They are still trying to.
Damn, that's crazy. I never heard that story before. About. Damn. They said it was 1913, and he was a white man who had connection with the Supreme Court. His power went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they found him guilty. That's crazy.
Defend Leo Frank. What happened then is that his buddies over at the Freemasonic Lodge, B'nai B'rith, assembled the ADL to gaslight the public. No, Leo Frank wasn't guilty. Look what happened after. He was lynched for what he did to Mary Fagan. He is actually a victim of anti-Semitism. That's it. He wasn't guilty. I'm sure maybe the black guy did it in 1913 Atlanta, and everyone conspired to instead attack a wealthy factory owner. Like I said, to this day, they are using those mechanisms to try to gaslight us and to pretend Leo Frank was really the victim in this tragedy. It's utterly demented. I will never let it stand. He killed Mary Fagan. He is still guilty of that crime, no matter how much the ADL tries to obscure that. And by the way, if you want to learn more, you should learn more about Mary Fagan's murder. I can point you guys, there's a book called The Murder of Little Mary Fagan, and it is written by a relative of hers. And that relative's name is also Mary Fagan. You should read the details of what happened 100 years ago. You should read the facts around it, read the case documents, learn about the brutal rape and the murder and what happened thereafter, because so much has been written since to try to obscure those facts. So go to the family member as a source. Do that in your own spare time. In fact, maybe I should add it to the book club list. Anyways, the reason why I'm telling you that is because there is it really is a very crucial element of our history that you need to come to terms with, right? The modern media machine all of these journalists who lie and gaslight. You're seeing it right now, what they're writing about me. It's insane. They are students of effectively the psychoanalytic community. Let's gaslight and then we will diagnose. Gaslight and diagnose. Seeing it happen in real time pertaining to the Charlie Kirk case. We watched him be murdered, and then we watched the feds lie to us rather fanatically. The text messages, I think, were really the what is going on. And now they're yelling at us for noticing. Like, we are all being abused right now by the press, right? They're trying to spin it. No, I can't believe people have questions. The conspiracies are so bad. These text messages were totally legit. Anybody.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of gaslighting going on right now, bro. It's like they're doing a lot of pissing and telling us it's lemonade.
Who wants to investigate it further?
I have tried a lot of plant-based shakes on my wellness journey. And trust me, I know they don't all taste amazing. That's where Kachava comes in. They've finally cracked the code. And now instead of forcing down these shakes that taste like twigs and grass, you can actually enjoy getting your protein in. It's
further crazy. Oh, just totally crazy. We're all clinically insane. We should probably consult a physician. How dare we? It's inappropriate. Candace, as they always say, she must be suffering from postpartum psychosis. Okay, whatever you want to call the thing is that I'm suffering from when you watch your friend catch a bullet in the neck, you can call it that. Diagnose it if you need to. Anyways, you guys, the time has come for us to wake up. Now, it should unnerve you with that little bit of history that despite their well-documented founding, the ADL is so...
It was a video the other day I seen. I didn't even click on it. It was talking about Candace Owens was compromised. I'm like, it don't sound like it here.
Powerful of an organization that they have been directing the FBI for years, okay? They label people who tell the truth extremists. They put them on a list. I think it effectively works as a hit list. And then they direct and work with the FBI in partnership to go after those extremists, okay? That is a very weird relationship, a strange relationship, an immoral relationship, and a corrupt relationship. Now, I want you to know that I learned that recently, last year, that both the left and the right work with the ADL, okay? There was this lie that's told publicly. I believed it, that it's just the left. It's all left-leaning. No. They work with both the left and the right. The neocons on the right side work arm in arm with the ADL and feed them names, primarily of anyone, I should say, who is an enemy to the state of Israel. So currently, you have Trump people who I guess are trying to save face for their remarkable lack of curiosity as it pertains to who assassinated Charlie Kirk, who loved them and worked did whatever he could to support their administration. They're trying to save face and pretend that they're upset, like, oh, we're gonna do something. It's not okay that this happens. Look over here, right? Oh, look over here. The ADL put Charlie Kirk on a list. Now that he's dead, we demand post-justice. Pastor Patel's doing that. He's acting right now. He's pretending that he's delivering some form of justice. I think Elon Musk tweeted about Charlie Kirk and TPUSA being on the list, and then it kind of caught fire. And this became the new conservative talking point. The ADL must pay for that. And sure enough, the FBI director, Pastor Patel, announced yesterday that this is over. Yes, the ADL was training FBI agents and sharing intelligence in partnership with the FBI. The FBI and the ADL had a partnership sharing intel. They were training agents, and he says no more. Okay, he wrote this in a tweet. James Comey wrote love letters to the ADL and embedded FBI agents with them, a group that ran disgraceful ops spying on Americans. That era is over. The FBI won't partner with political fronts masquerading as watchdogs. Now, if you're on the right, you're supposed to go, yay, justice served. If you're on the left, you're maybe going to be happy that the ADL responded very graciously to this. They issued a statement immediately that said, as we prepare to observe the holiest day of the year on the Jewish calendar, and it's just like, I guess they're victims somehow, we have seen the statement from the FBI FBI Director Tell regarding the FBI's relationship. ADL has deep respect for the Federal Bureau of Investigation and law enforcement officers at all levels across the country who work tirelessly every single day to protect all Americans, regardless of their ancestry, religion, ethnicity, faith, political affiliation, or any other point of difference. In light of an unprecedented surge of anti-Semitism, we remain more committed than ever to our core purpose to protect the Jewish people. You should know that all of that you just heard, okay, is BS, okay? It's slave slop. We are the slaves, and they are serving us slop right now. The illusion that things are changing, the illusion that it's left versus right, or that it's Jewish Americans versus everybody else. Hey, Jewish Americans, if you're watching this, you want to wake up to ADL, is not your friend at all. They don't care about what happens to you. If you need more proof, you should know that they curiously removed the Azov battalion. They're carving swastikas on their head, Ukrainians murdering people. They removed them from the hate list. Candace Owens is on there, though. I'm sure you guys go to bed and you're worried about Candace Owens and not the people that are carving freaking swastikas on their head and murdering people, okay? They don't care. That's all. This is all just slop. Left versus right illusion, whatever it is. But the more important question that I want to get to is why now? Why are they putting on this performative bit right now? Well, yesterday, I made an offhand remark about the ADL and the FBI sharing an office in Connecticut. Now, I know this because I'm from Connecticut, so there's no way to try to obscure that fact. Back in 2023, actually, a Catholic investigator revealed this and shared it. He addressed it in a series of tweets. Kyle Undercover wrote, I gathered property records for the 19 different states that the ADL has a regional office established. The report reveals that in the state of Connecticut, the ADL shares an office space with the FBI. They also share an office space with the United Nations in New York. Now, same building, across the hall, whatever. That's a fact, and it makes sense. You shouldn't be that shocked when they're owning the fact that they share information. It's easier to share information if you're sharing an office space, right? Anyways, he goes on and he writes,
what's up? Where y'all tapping in from?
After reviewing the 19 ADL offices, we can see an alarming trend. 63% of the ADL's regional offices are located within various banking institutions. 42% are located within various law firms, ranging from immigration to criminal law. We should keep that in mind for what we're going to talk about later on the show. And 10% are located in Jewish institutions. So you get the point. Why am I telling you this? Because after I made that offhand remark
Have y'all ever heard of the ADL before today?
yesterday, I received a rather stunning tip, which I have been able to corroborate, that out of all of the FBI boroughs in the United States, regarding which there are 55 main boroughs and over 350 satellite boroughs, the FBI sent the specific Connecticut borough down to UVU after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. To help investigate the assassination, okay, let's just look that up again. They decided to go upwards on the East Coast and to send the field office from that borough to UVU. I wonder why they did that. I'd like an answer. We're probably not going to get it. We're not getting answers on anything. I wonder what moved them to send that particular borough, okay, down to UVU. It just feels like you got a lot around you, a lot of options. It wasn't exactly like necessary for you to do that. Kirk gets assassinated, and yeah, that person provided proof. They said we are 1,000% certain. I sent them to see proof. Unbelievably, I'd like to know why they did that. Right. I'd like to know why suddenly now Kash Patel is making a strong statement against the ADL. All of that just feels a little too close to comfort. And by the way, how do you separate when you're just across the hall? This is if you guys are not speaking to each other anymore. Are we supposed to be this dumb? Okay. Completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Wanted to share that. Okay. Anyways, jumping back into more oddities that occurred that day, despite having these federal agents from Connecticut. Now, I have presented to you just thus far, right, that a lot of these witnesses immediately spoke out to say, here's what happened, here's how many shots, here's what I heard. But they had strange connections to the government or like weren't from UVU at all or coming from overseas didn't really make sense. I was trying to understand that. And yesterday, of course, we were trying to figure out who was this mysterious woman that was allegedly seen helping the shooter change clothes. I got that one tip from an individual, completely unrelated, said yes, there was footage of a person helping the shooter change clothes. And then suddenly we were able to discern, at the very least, that someone in the Broderick Lyman family certainly acknowledges that there was a woman, at the very least, who she suspected could have been an accomplice. She didn't say anything about the person changing clothes, but we can watch that clip again to hear what she says.
If you count time, how long it took him to get from that little part over here, it was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl was giving him stuff, like if there is an accomplice, something going.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam was across the street, he was right here.
Okay, so we received a couple of tips pertaining to who that woman might have been, according to rumors circulating around Orem. And I want to be very clear, when we say this is a rumor, I mean that you should take this information with a grain of salt. We cannot present it at face value because we don't have the footage, right? I cannot say this is a fact. I can say that this lead became more interesting to me. And that the FBI should clarify things. It's that simple. Let us see all the footage. But they don't seem even remotely interested in trying to help us clarify anything. Anyways, the name that we had received was, it turned out, somebody that actually provided the only eyewitness testimony of having seen the shooter up close, limping. So it's possible, just to run the other side of things, that this woman captured both of them walking back to back, and she just was walking near him and she had nothing to do with helping him change. That's all possible, and we should consider that possibility. We don't have answers. But there's something else that's interesting about her. Like I said, the testimony that she provided is interesting, and she is the only person that saw the shooter limping up close. And her name, we know this because she spoke to the news, they all did, is Olivia Robertson Cobb Bishop. Let's listen to her testimony now.
I kind of realized the type of street I was on, a little bit more secluded, you know.
Olivia Bishop retraces her steps where she came face to face with Charlie Kirk's alleged killer.
Just looking over, seeing that he was limping, kind of being like, oh, okay. And then long black shirt, kind of thinking that's kind of weird. It's kind of super hot outside.
Bishop says something's...
The dude that they're showing in the actual, I guess, the composite photo where they want everybody to, I guess, where they telling the people that it's basically who to look for. That doesn't look like the Tyler Robinson guy. The more I see the picture, it don't look like
a little off.
I did look over at him and he was kind of like that was his face, just kind of like, not a smile or anything.
From the expressionless demeanor, long sleeve shirt during a hot summer day, to the limp.
It's kind of odd, I don't know. Like, now that I think about it, it's just very, like, chilling to me.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Buddy had on a long sleeve shirt on a hot ass day like that. That kind of didn't make sense to me. I didn't get
Video
that.
of Robinson walking away from UVU after Kirk was shot. That's when she realized she'd been only feet away from the accused killer. Now, she questions whether she could have done more.
Had I seen the imprint of a rifle down his leg, if I had looked at him a little longer, then immediately after that happened, would I have thought back to him, you know?
Ain't nothing but a few of y'all in here. Y'all hit that like button, man. It's free, man. Hit that like button for me, please.
Been able to like alert authorities quicker.
Bishop realizes there's nothing she could have done differently.
But just to have been like an eyewitness to him on his way there is just shocking to me.
I gotta say, when I saw that, I was actually kind of giddy because I was like, finally, it looks like a college student from UVU who is speaking to the news. That's great. And of course, I then had to wonder what she was studying. And it turns out, no, she doesn't go to UVU. I don't know. A lot of these people were not available that day. But what she does for a living is quite interesting because there's an emerging pattern. And for whatever reason, nobody who spoke to the press said what their connections were. It turns out that she works for the Orem Police Department. She's a record specialist. And I should tell you guys, it kind of unbelievably.
Appreciate whoever hit the like
Yes.
button. Thank you so much.
Believe us,
Appreciate
it
you.
kind of lost a lot
Ain't
of
nothing but a
people that were
handful of
working
y'all in here, man. I
departments,
appreciate it though,
posts,
dog.
people that were retiring, a lot of changes that were happening. I don't know when she started working there, but she works for the Orem Police Department, and we're hearing a lot of stuff about some plausible corruption that might be going on there. And I just said, wow, okay. Curiously, is she also
Where y'all tapping in from? Tell me what city, state, whatever, where y'all popping in from, what country?
Purports to be a close witness to when Charlie got shot. And I'm wondering, if you work for the Orem Police Department, what were you doing going to a Charlie Kirk event in the middle of the day? Okay, assuming that's a full-time job. Charlie spoke on a Wednesday. What were you doing there? I don't know. Is this like the longest lunch break ever? Meeting up with some friends, she says. Meeting up with some friends, okay. Another thing that we were able to learn is that she met up with her husband. Like, how are all of these people just allowed to leave work to hear Charlie Kirk speak? I'm interested. So I reach out, obviously today, called the records office, sent her a text. We were able to find her number. She doesn't want to speak.
Nashville, Tennessee, one of my favorite cities. I love Nashville. I had so much fun when I went to Nashville. I was like, I'm from Florida. I live in Atlanta, but I went to Nashville and I had a freaking ball. That city, and I went. I was so damn happy at Nashville. I went to the damn Grand Ole Opry. That's how happy I was.
So anything she says, that was it. She's going to speak right there in her testimony. And that
I went to the
she
Grand
gave
Ole
appropriate
Opry,
information
Charlotte,
to the
like
appropriate authorities. So
my
that,
black ass.
beyond that, is just going to be a dead end. But I'd like to take a broad look at our witness tree, because it's growing, right? It's growing, our witness tree. We've got Tiffany Barker, of course. She's with the nieces. Her sister was Phil Lyman's running mate. She spoke to Good Morning America in the wee hours the morning after. Phil Lyman, of course, our guy, he really does not like me at all. He wants me to know that he thinks I'm shady, that I'm an accomplice to something. He ran for Utah governor in 2024. He featured George Zinn on his website at that time, spoke to Alex Jones, Fox News, News Nation, really anybody that would have him. Now we have Olivia Bishop. She works for the Orem Police Records Specialist, and she works as the Orem Police Records Specialist, and she spoke to local news. Who else do we have here? Well, let me show you this other video, which gets interesting, okay? Check out this USA Today video of people speaking about what they heard and what they saw. Take a listen.
It sounds like lightning. It was so loud. I thought the shooter was right there in the crowd. And
man, it was a clap, bro. When Charlie Kirk got hit, it was a clap. It wasn't no like boom. Like, I done heard guns go off, and I heard that like sometimes they go boom, but that shit was like fat. Like it was too fast, bro. Like it wasn't no. And the kind of gun that he would have had to have shot the 30-07, bro, as soon as he would have shot the gun, everybody in that crowd, he would have shot, boom, everybody would have turned their head around like, what was that? But they did not do that.
apparently he wasn't. Apparently he was far off. Everybody got down, and everybody just started praying for Charlie Kirk. And the girl I was right next to, she was bawling because she'd seen it. She'd seen the graphic imagery of the bullet piercing his neck and opening his neck up, and I can't imagine what it was like to see that.
I was just walking up. I was going to the event with a friend, and so I was in the back of the crowd still walking to get closer when I heard the pop of a gunshot and people started screaming and running. So I took a knee, just having habit from being in the Marine Corps, and people were still screaming and running, and I just decided to look for the shooter wherever they might be. But people just kept clearing out.
Basically, I just heard a shot, and I saw him falling towards the left, so I knew he got shot in the collarbone or the neck right here, but I didn't see bleed immediately. I just saw and I heard, and we all crouched down, and I wish there was a better security. I was a little surprised when I walked into the courtyard and there wasn't any metal detector. There were securities around the building, but it wasn't really solid.
Okay, so to show you who those individuals are, a lot of software engineers. We can pull back up Emmanuel Furier. You saw his name there again. We're pulling people that spoke to the press publicly. We're not revealing any information here, but he works for Domo Incorporated. His history is that he is a software engineer, a technical advisor. His name is German in origin. I'd like to know a little bit more. Also, when I look up these people, by the way, none of them have reached out to me. Like from the minutes that this all happened, I asked for information. For whatever reason, these people were very anxious to speak to the press right after, but then we're like, you know what? We're not gonna speak to anybody else about that. Same for Gurno owner. We covered this. He was with Bill Lyman's nephew, cousin. We learned was a software engineer from Austria. So Austria, Germany, okay. Featured in Shaner's Instagram. And that guy, Scott Robbins, that you saw looking like a college kid, well, he was also a gubernatorial candidate. He ran for governor of Utah in 2024. Nobody mentioned this. I guess all of these USA Today or AP, nobody asked them like who they were, if they were college students, and for whatever reason, everybody they spoke to wasn't that. We will continue to grow this witness tree. Robbie Hild, we put a TBD on because we're getting crazy information on him. We're calling him Mr. Worldwide over here. Okay, we've got Robbie Hild in the Cayman Islands. We've got Robbie Hild in Spain. We've got Robbie Hild all over. And so that's going to take some time. We need to be more thorough in that. And we will have more on Robbie Hild on Monday. Anyways, guys, this is a good time to take a pause and read some of our sponsors. You guys know I love Riverbend Ranch. Their steaks are phenomenal. They really are just phenomenal. Black Angus beef that they have is literally famous for its great flavor. The Riverbend Ranch has taken Black Angus beef to a whole different level because over the last 35 years, Riverbend Ranch has been creating an elite Angus.
Hey, while she runs commercial, I'll get some ice.
Superior cattle.
Be right
on flavor and
gotta get some ice.
Each year, Riverbend Ranch provides about 850 elite Black Angus bulls containing these special genetics to over 260 Western U.S. ranches. Those partnership ranches receive a substantial premium from Riverbend Ranch for raising those calves without the use of any growth hormones and without any antibiotics. And every fall, the calves containing these elite genetics return to Riverbend Ranch to spend this following summer in lush mountain pastures. When you purchase from Riverbend Ranch, you are not only supporting the 64 cowboys and their families who work on that ranch, but also supporting the over 260 other U.S. ranches and the hundreds of American families who work on those ranches. It is born in the USA, raised in the USA, processed right here in the USA. Their meat is aged to perfection for 21 days and shipped directly from the ranch to your home. This is not your average Black Angus beef. This is more flavorful and more tender than even the best Angus beef that I've ever tasted. Right now, when you head over to riverbendranch.com, you can use promo code Candace at checkout and you'll get $20 off your first order. Trust me, you're going to be so impressed. So visit riverbendranch.com and use promo code Candace at checkout. Also telling you guys about Comet, because how much time do you spend every day on a web browser? How much time do you spend clicking around online, searching, scrolling, typing endless tabs? It's a lot, especially if you're me, always researching something. Well, there is a new AI web browser from Perplexity that is called Comet. And that is completely changing the way that you're able to interact with your browser. Using Comet feels like having a personal assistant living in your web browser that can actually do things for you across the internet. Yes, actually doing things, not just giving you answers. You can ask Comet to do things for you, and it literally clicks, types, searches, scrolls for you. What I love most about Comet is that it can take weeknight chaos and turn it into simple, stress-free dinners with just a few taps. I get personalized meal plans based on my family's preferences. Comet orders the groceries for me, and it gets them delivered right to the door. Comet can shop for you, make reservations, book travel, summarize articles or videos, send emails, schedule meetings, and a lot more.
What's it called?
Just makes life easier. So go and take back your time online, download Perplexity's new web browser, Comet, and let it work for you, not the other way around. Check it out at pplx.ai/Candace. Again, that's pplx.ai/Candace.
Y'all check out Candace Owens. And this video is due to Candace Owens. This is her content. So y'all go check her out.
Candace. Okay, so it's looking like an operation, right? We are right now living through the JFK assassination. We weren't there for that. The majority of us weren't there for that. I wasn't there for that. But we wondered. We knew we were still being lied to about that assassination. And I just wondered, like, AJ did, allowed yesterday. Did all of the homies of JFK just try to cover it up? I think the answer might be yes. I think he was surrounded. I think he was infiltrated. And then they got rid of him because of wrongthink. He had the wrong ideas that perhaps maybe every foreign nation should register under FARA. Anyways, how this works is that then you have to kind of put together like a Warren Commission, right? JFK, the Warren Commission, complete and utter farce to pretend like the government's taking it seriously and investigating. Well, if Tyler Robinson's going to be our patsy, and I do want to be clear here, I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson is guilty of nothing. It's his gun. There's weird stuff going on there. I don't believe he pulled the trigger. But if they're going to make that stick, then you got to.
What do y'all believe? Do y'all believe that Tyler Robinson actually committed this? Do y'all think that he's scapegoat? Let me know.
Is working for the prosecution, right? Well, that's what's going on. Recently, Elizabeth Lane went on the Redacted podcast, and she discussed how the prosecutor is picking his opponent in the Tyler Robinson case. Take a listen to her explain that.
Investigative journalist Elizabeth Lane is not giving up on this story. She's been on the ground in Utah connecting the CIA dots, the three-letter agency dots and connections, and she joins us now. Elizabeth, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Clayton. I looked at Tyler Robinson's case and I thought, well, why don't I get this guy a lawyer? Because that at least puts me near him so I can understand and control the process. And there's times where they could
She got him a lawyer, wow.
And they were kind of scrambling around to figure out who was going to be his lawyer. And I started approaching different firms in Utah, trying to get him a lawyer for pro bono. So I walked up to one of the most reputable firms in Utah, and I asked them if they were willing to represent Tyler Robinson for pro bono case. And I was extremely surprised what I got from them. First and foremost, they were like, yes, we're absolutely on this because we don't believe that what happened to Charlie Kirk was remotely a case of just a single, crazy kid going up and shooting the guy in the neck. Like, we don't believe that, so we are more than willing to represent him pro bono. So I was like, great. So we started the process.
So the law firm
what happened is we realized that we needed lawyers who are actually certified with death penalty, so their certifications didn't live up to that. But there's another interesting thing. When I did find a lawyer that was certified to represent Tyler Robinson, obviously I needed a consent from Robinson's family and or Robinson himself, because he's actually not a minor, he can consent to himself. Ironically, we were unable to get in touch with the parents, because as a lawyer you can't solicit clients, so it's illegal. So you can just announce yourself that I'm going to represent Tyler Robinson. So I started doing that. So I got into this process and I asked my local lawyer firm, hey, what's the best way to go around here? Like, we need help to get the lawyer from New York who is certified to represent Tyler to get on the case. So he said, whatever you do, Elizabeth, do not get in touch with the firms in Utah. They're the most powerful because they are in on it with the state. No matter what happens, they will take the side of
the state. So they saying that they got to get a lawyer all the way from New York because that the law firms in Utah, they're not going to even touch it. Because wow.
Listen to him. And I ended up calling one of the biggest firms in Utah just to ask for an advice. Like, what is the situation here? What can we do? They started screaming on the phone. And I was like, why do you even care? Like, you don't have a dog in this fight. Why are you so rude on the phone? So then I said, listen, there is a lawyer who's qualified and he's actually very famous in New York, wants to represent this kid. All I need is a consent from Tyler Robinson to do so. And we think that you can help. To this, I got a very rude response that only SCORDIS is allowed to find a representation for Tyler Robinson. So SCORDIS is a guy who's running as a state prosecutor. So here's the problem with that. State prosecutor cannot be responsible to find a lawyer for a defendant. That's illegal. So,
right, that they will be
that's
choosing
illegal.
Their own opponent.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Something that I've been wondering about.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Like an open and shut case for any defense attorney because the government.
Wow. So she's saying this might be an open and shut case for any damn, hold on.
And
Yeah, that's what it seems
And this
like.
is something that I've been wondering about because it seems like an open and shut case for any defense attorney because the government has presented such a crap case. Unless
So basically they saying that it's some bullshit in the water and we don't need to drink it. That's what they basically
his
trying to
attorney is
say.
a shill.
Don't drink the
So
Kool-Aid,
what I
y'all.
know is that Curtis is running as a state prosecutor. He's running. Everyone can look it up. It's on his website. So it's not quite illegal for him to find a lawyer for Tyler, but it would be illegal if he was a state prosecutor. But what it is, though, is highly unethical.
Highly unethical. And the reason why I wanted to show you that clip is because I've learned a lot over the last couple of years. And what I can tell you is that this gang that's running everything, okay, they also are controlling the courts. That's how you get a prosecution against somebody that makes no sense. And why do you do that? Because typically you're hiding government crimes, right? You want people to stop looking, you want people to stop asking questions. You're not just asking questions. Yeah, no, we are implying here that everything you're telling us about the Tyler Robinson case makes no sense, but these people control the courts. And I gotta tell you another thing, I wanna be very clear. They even have figured out how to run a kangaroo court system, total kangaroo court system, where judges do not have to follow the law. Okay, Ian Carroll's on my show speaking about this, pertaining to Justin Bieber. It is a fact. Arbitration courts, they get you to sign a contract, and you agree. If you have an issue, go to arbitration court. Most people don't know what that means. Private court, where the judge does not have to follow the law. They can just say you're guilty. And when you get to that level, there's usually a couple of reasons why they got these players that work for the government and are willing to lie and cheat and steal. And it is because the government needs a prosecution, or you've pissed them off, and they need a conviction against you because they're trying to bankrupt you. The corrupt cases, when you get really close to a truth, the government swoops in to try to bankrupt you. I am living proof of that. Never in the history of the world ever has there been a sitting leader of a foreign country that has sued a podcaster or a news member, even a journalist in a foreign country for defamation, okay? I am the first. It is because we are getting close to a lot of truth when it comes to Brigitte Macron, okay? And so now what they're doing is they're calling their cronies. Brigitte Macron's hired former federal prosecutors, and she's hiring a firm here. Why? Because the next option is Kansas Nation, we're going to bankrupt her. These are people that want you to believe they're successful in life organically. No. The entire system is rigged. It's rigged, okay? If you get too close to them and too powerful, usually suddenly a person gets inclined to commit suicide. We don't know why. And suddenly there's a hostile takeover of their company, or, a random person shoots them, right? If there's any threat against them, either you're smeared, you are bankrupted, or you die in rather mysterious circumstances. So watch this, because you're learning the playbook. Everybody's waking up right now. You need to pay attention to this. This is another one of their mechanisms. They control the courts, and they will get whatever it is they need to get accomplished in the courts, whether it's bankruptcy or a conviction that makes literally no sense, as is going to be the case with Tyler Robinson. They're going to convict him, right? They found their patsy. They're going to make it work, and they're going to keep threatening the rest of us for noticing that nothing makes sense at all. Anyways, further to that point, I had done, and if you have not watched it, you should jump into the Epstein series that we paused because this happened, where we talked about that, the hand of Midas, making these people executives. We're more successful because we're brighter. No, you're more successful because you're more corrupt. You're willing to lie, cheat, steal, and kill, actually, to get whatever it is that you want. And the Jeffrey Epstein story has all of those elements, right? And our government, I think actually it was the day that Charlie was killed, quietly voted. We're not going to actually release any Epstein files. Wow, how do they maneuver that? Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been very loud about how she is against that, and she has grown increasingly vocal, and she feels the need, as she did a couple of days ago, to publicly clarify.
This settlement check completely changed my life, and it came from a car accident I almost forgot about. I never imagined.
Clarify and she is not suicidal. She wrote, I am not suicidal, and I'm one of the happiest and healthiest people that you will meet. I have full faith in God, and Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. As a sinner, I am only saved through his grace and mercy. With that said, if something happens to me, I ask you all to find out which foreign government or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out. Not only about this issue, but because of the truth that I have been speaking, the people understand what I am saying. Yes, we are the people, and we understand what you are saying. We understand why speech is considered so dangerous, why the ADL creates a list that features people like Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA and Candace Owens. Why speech is so dangerous is because if it carries truth, it speaks to power. And power is not truth. Power at this moment is a lie. It is a carefully woven lie everywhere. We're against all of us. That is why I say the action that you can take, right? Don't feel hopeless. Understand they're actually panicking right now. What can you do in your household? Well, the first thing you can do is do not put your children in their matrix. Take your kids out of school. These sleeper cells are all across the nation, okay? And we're going to get into this next week. I wanted to make sure that I could get more thorough and show to you the Ukrainian connections that are coming across in this that are very strange, but I guess not so strange when you pay attention to the last shootings, trans shootings that have happened. The Catholic school shooting, the person was scribbling in their notebook recently, the shooter in Cyrillic. What's that about? What's that about? Why do we suddenly have Russian speakers that are involved in these sorts of things? We are looking at a program, and we're going to speak more about that because you have to understand.
So they program the like programs in the Matrix. Like, like when you really look at everything, like it's kind of crazy because it's like even in the movie The Matrix, they talk about Zionists.
It is dangerous what's happening right now. It's a dangerous game, and they're playing with dangerous people. And if it ever needed to be said, I am certainly not suicidal. I'm angry. I'm angry at people that are homicidal is really what's happening. And enough is enough. And if we are not brave enough to speak out, if we are not brave enough to take that action to begin something as minor as homeschooling our kids, getting out of their system entirely, then our children are going to inherit a world in which the truly evil people have completely wrapped everything, right? They have wrapped everything and they control everything. It's up to us, guys, and I think we're close. So I'm going to leave that at that. Speak about a couple more sponsors before getting into some of your comments and questions that you have. I should have first let you know we did open another tips line because we are at max capacity. I want to remind you guys, if you have tips pertaining to Robbie Hild, anything that we are saying about what took place on Orem on that day. Tips does not include, Candace, have you seen this theory? Watch this TikTok, please, guys. We are trying not to have our inbox cluttered because we want to get to all of these tips, a lot of information. Please email more tips at CandaceOwens.com. More tips at CandaceOwens.com if you have a tip pertaining to what took place on that day. First, I want to throw out to 7 Weeks Coffee. You guys know I love them. It's America's pro-life coffee company. The pro-life mission is important because they don't want us to have a lot of children. More of them, less of us. Well, 7 Weeks Coffee is on a mission to fund the pro-life movement coffee at a time, and they just hit an amazing milestone, over $1 million.
Appreciate Candace for letting us so gracefully and humbly react to her stuff. But yeah, we're gonna go to Charlemagne. Well, we gotta go to Poetic Flacco. Charlemagne. Let me see. Yeah. They got some good stuff on here tonight, y'all. They got some good stuff, so we gotta, let me see. Let's see what Starsnet's talking about.
Yeah, it was rough. That was a rough one.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything.
You know, it's sad. It is sad, and I think sports are really the best way for kids to learn.
Celeste Rivas' death is starting to look way bigger than just a body turning up in David's trunk. People are whispering that this isn't some simple crime scene. It's a whole tangled web. And now Joe Rogan's explosive comments about the case are lighting up the entire internet. David's situation keeps spiraling out of control, with new drawbacks and details dropping every single day, and the public can't stop connecting the dots. What's being revealed is so wild it's shocking even the investigators who thought they'd seen it all. The truth is starting to look like Celeste had deeper, darker ties to David than anyone realized. This isn't just about a tragic body found in a trunk anymore. It's about cryptic lyrics, suspicious timelines, and resurfaced footage that keeps hinting at something bigger. Fans are acting like detectives themselves, piecing things together while real investigators scramble to keep up. The energy around this case is intense, and every new leak is making people question everything they thought they knew about Celeste, David, and everyone tied to them. Every new detail coming out feels darker and heavier than the last. And the first real twist that's got everybody talking, his lyrics. People are running back his track Decide over and over, dissecting every single line and pointing out the words he dropped like a confession. I know what the problem is. Save your tears. 7 years. I know life is complicated. You don't have to say no more. Don't know if I'm going to make it. We both have to find a way to work it out. My head is aching. You're the one that started this. When it was first released, nobody blinked an eye, thinking it was just another emotional track about a messy situation. But now, in the shadow of Celeste's tragedy, those lyrics are being read like a code, and the internet is buzzing about what they really meant. What's got everyone truly unsettled is the 7 years part. Back then, it seemed like just a poetic reference, but after people learned Celeste had known David since she was young, the meaning started to sound way more suspicious. The timing feels chilling, and fans are convinced those bars weren't random at all. They're digging through every song, every old video, every hidden clue like it's an open investigation. That lyric doesn't just sound eerie, it feels downright haunting. Like he left a countdown hidden in plain sight inside his music. People are saying this can't be brushed off as some random coincidence. They believe it's a straight up coded message. And the crazy part, once you catch it, you can't unhear it. It sticks in your mind and changes the way you see his whole catalog. But that's not the only track raising eyebrows, because another song has fans shook. Romantic Homicide. It dropped on September 7, 2022. And guess what day that is? Celeste's birthday. He literally put that track out on her 12th birthday. And fans can't get over how chilling that timing looks now. The track itself has lyrics that paint a picture of someone imagining taking a life, talking about it being in the back of his mind with no...
That's amazing. He dropped this track on her birthday. The name has the word homicide in it. The name of the song has the word homicide in it. He dropped it on her 12th birthday. Wow.
Great. And now people can't help but connect those words with the timeline. The upload date, the words in the song, the context of everything happening around him. Fans are piecing it together and saying it feels way too precise to be random. Investigators haven't ignored it either, because with every lyric pulled apart, the case starts to look less like music and more like confession-style storytelling set to a beat. Back when it first dropped, anthem, but now it's hiding behind the melody of a love song. Fans are losing their minds online, shouting, "How was this missed? Why didn't anyone put the pieces together sooner?" It feels almost impossible that nobody caught the meaning at the time. And then came Here With Me, and that track.
Warning, if you've been in a car accident, do not accept the insurance offer before using this 30-second calculator that shows you exactly how much your claim is really worth.
Almost impossible that nobody caught the meaning at the time. And then came Here With Me, and that track. Only made everything creepier. One line in particular stands out heavy now. I don't care how long it takes as long as I'm with you. At release, it sounded harmless, maybe even sweet. But today, people swear it reads like him waiting until she was old enough before going public with whatever was happening. That interpretation is fans shook because the timing and the wording are just too sharp to ignore. But the situation didn't stop there. It got even worse. Photos began surfacing from one of his concerts. Grainy, but still clear enough to make out faces. And allegedly, they show Celeste herself in the crowd, while David is seen waving directly at her. That single image alone sent shockwaves through social media.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything.
With people saying it changes everything they thought they knew about his connection.
She said that on the live, bro. And if it wasn't nothing that he was doing wrong, why would he say delete everything?
To her. If that turns out to be true, it completely wrecks any defense he's been clinging to about not knowing her. And she wasn't some stranger. She was right there, watching him perform, living inside his world while he waved back at her from the stage. That alone paints a whole new picture of their connection and makes the story even harder to brush off. Then came the real bombshell, a podcast clip that's now resurfacing on...
This is what I'm trying to figure out, though. Like I wonder what the police know, because they know something we don't know, because that man's still walking around free. So, like, he may not have nothing to do with this at all. Like, he might be totally innocent of this. I mean, stranger things have happened.
And I wanted to make my own manga series at one point, and a big part of the manga was an evil version of me named Itami, which means pain in Japanese. The story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as a detective. So like when I was as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
And going viral everywhere.
Damn.
The footage shows David and Celeste
That's
talking
crazy.
in a way that's got people stunned, discussing topics way too grown for her age. Viewers are calling it straight from the Epstein playbook, saying no grown man should even be on that kind of subject matter with a minor. And now that she's gone, those old clips aren't quirky or funny anymore. They're being passed around as receipts, as cold evidence of a relationship that never should have happened. But it goes even darker than that. David once described having an evil anime character that commits crimes, something he claimed was just to create a persona. Back then, fans laughed it off and chalked it up to him being artistic and edgy. But now, people are calling it a mask, a dark alter ego he used to speak through, saying the things he couldn't admit as himself. One user on X hit the internet hard with a comment, an evil version of me, which means pain in Japanese. Fans are saying he should be arrested just for that cringeworthy statement alone. And while the internet debates it, many are sending heartfelt condolences to Celeste's family as this story grows heavier by the day. Things went from wild to straight up surreal when Joe Rogan himself tapped into the conversation. He said this whole case broke his heart, calling it flat out sad, but he didn't leave it there. He went straight into the lyrics, the dates, the so-called hidden clues, laying it all out like a map. And then he dropped one heavy line that's been echoing all across the internet. Kids of today don't learn, pointing directly to Celeste's risky behavior. Reports have revealed that Celeste often ran away from home without her family or friends even knowing, moving through the city, chasing danger and thrills. Joe wasn't aiming blame at her, but he was blunt about what he saw. The culture of kids today moving reckless, making choices without thinking of the consequences, is exactly the kind of setup that allows tragedies like this to happen. His take wasn't sugarcoated, and it hit like a punch in the chest. That single comment cut deep because it opened up a bigger, harsher picture. Celeste wasn't just a victim, she was a young girl living wild, and in the eyes of many, that might have made her an easy target. Social media exploded over his words, with some agreeing that society needs to protect kids better, while others said Rogan was out of line for even suggesting it. Either way, his take shifted the conversation from just David's actions to a broader cultural warning, making this case feel bigger than one tragedy. It's a mirror to how risky youth culture can turn deadly. Now, let's run it back with the full timeline, because that's where things turn bone-chilling. In March 2022, David drops aside with that haunting Save Your Tears 7 Years lyric, and nobody thinks twice.
Yeah, it was rough. That was a rough one.
But 2 months later, May 2022, he tweets something cryptic about a girl wanting to be taken where I belong, and the age mentioned, 11. That lined up perfectly with Celeste's age at the time, and fans looking back are calling it a dead giveaway. By July 2022, things get even heavier. He drops Romantic Homicide on the exact day of Celeste's birthday, making people wonder if it was timed on purpose. Then in October 2022, leaked Discord chats start spreading online, showing David allegedly asking if Celeste was logged in, and then she appears in the thread right after. Fans were floored at how direct that looked in hindsight. Fast forward to December 2023, and it gets impossible to ignore. A song literally titled Celeste gets recorded, while photos of the two together begin surfacing. And just when people thought it couldn't get clearer, March 2024 Discord convos drop, showing a fan straight up saying he's dating a girl named Celeste with no hesitation. To a lot of people,
I'm trying to figure out why he ain't in no trouble for messing with a young girl, though.
This timeline reads like a trail of breadcrumbs, each one tying him closer to her in ways that feel impossible to explain away. By April 2024, the story takes a chilling turn. Celeste disappears completely from her family's life.
Sorry, did my in-unit laundry wake you? This is my apartment, Carl. No, it's apartments.com will help you.
Family's life.
Late last week, Los Angeles police searching a home in Hollywood Hills that the singer was staying at, removing several items, including a computer.
No calls, no visits, no explanations. Just gone. Months later, in August 2024, things get even stranger when a Discord user actually requests a song about a missing girl and names her directly as Celeste Rivas. That detail alone had people frozen. Like, how could someone already be asking for that before the full truth even came out? Then September 2024 arrives, and Celeste turns 14. But instead of a normal teenage birthday, the internet gets rocked by the first photo of her flashing a tattoo, a tiny inked on her finger, the exact same design David had shown in one of his videos. That image set social media on fire, with fans saying the matching tattoos were a secret link between them all along. And finally, September 2025, what should have been another birthday milestone turns into a nightmare. Instead of celebrating turning 15, Celeste's body is discovered stuffed inside the trunk of David's abandoned Tesla. That ending turned the whispers and suspicions into a full-blown horror story, leaving fans and investigators convinced this case had been unraveling in plain sight for years. That timeline doesn't read like random coincidence to people. It reads like a slow, calculated connection that spiraled into full-blown tragedy. But just when it felt like it couldn't get heavier, it did. LAPD came crashing down on this Hollywood Hills spot, swarming the place, and walking out with stacks of evidence bags. Late last week, Los Angeles police confirmed they searched the home where the singer had been staying, and witnesses say they hauled out multiple items, including his personal computer. Not long after, call records surfaced, allegedly tying him directly to Celeste. That revelation had fans and the media in shock, because now it wasn't just about music or rumors. It looked like hard receipts stacking against him. The backlash didn't just hit, it cooked his entire career overnight. His upcoming tour, canceled. The highly anticipated deluxe album version, shelved indefinitely. All the promotions and press stops he had lined up, frozen on the spot. Even worse, his label moved lightning fast to distance themselves, cutting ties before the story burned them too. Brands that once flaunted his image and name instantly erased every trace of him, like he never existed. Nobody, no company, no sponsor, no platform, wanted to be linked to him anymore. And the silence around his name became louder than any song he ever dropped. Meanwhile, over in Lake Elsinore, Celeste's hometown, the mood turned heavy and heartbreaking. The whole community was in mourning, and it wasn't just about grief anymore. It was about demanding answers. To them, this wasn't just some headline or internet rumor. This was their daughter, their neighbor.
I didn't know her personally. I just want justice for this little girl. I don't want her to be forgotten.
Their friend, whose life was stolen far too young. People filled the streets and spoke with raw emotion. One voice breaking through the noise saying, I didn't know her personally. I just want justice for this little girl. I don't want her to be forgotten. That kind of pain echoed everywhere, leaving the entire town shaking. And while her hometown stood together in sorrow, online, the energy flipped almost overnight. At first, fans were screaming out in his defense, swearing up and down that David was being framed, claiming the only reason he was in the spotlight was because his career was on the rise. But as the evidence piled up and the stories started connecting, those same voices went silent. The hashtags vanished. The defenders disappeared, and the support that once propped him up online collapsed like it was never even there. Now the internet feels colder, with people realizing this wasn't hype or rumor. It was a tragedy that hit real lives. What's left hanging in the air right now is pure suspicion, anger, and an endless demand.
I hope this man didn't do this to this little girl, but hey, who's to say, bro? I hope he didn't do this. I'm messed up. He would even want to even talk to a girl that young, bro. Like,
For answers. People all over are asking the same thing. Why hasn't he been arrested yet? With the mountain of evidence stacking up, fans can't wrap their heads around the silence from the authorities.
Why ain't lock his ass up?
How is he not being interviewed as a suspect with all of this evidence? The frustration is boiling over online, and the pressure on investigators keeps climbing by the day. Another post cut straight through the noise, saying, originally, I thought D4V could be innocent because you'd have to be so stupid to hide a body in your own car and just think it had magically disappeared. But seeing all the suspect messages, photos, and even the lyrics from his own songs, he really does seem just that stupid. That line went viral because it summed up the disbelief so many people are feeling. Through it all, tributes to Celeste to keep pouring in, with people saying "Rest in peace, Celeste" across every platform. And even if, by some twist, he didn't physically commit the crime, fans are reminding the world that he still crossed the line by allegedly being involved with a teenager, something that stains his image forever.
Yeah, that's gonna fuck him up right there. I don't know what the hell just happened. Oh.
A whole new spotlight, and fans are replaying track after track like it's a hidden diary.
You know, it's
Sad.
It is sad, and I think sports are really the best way for kids to learn it.
What used to sound like creative metaphors now reads like a confession hiding in plain sight. One fan wrote, "Many of his songs include lyrics that hint at the death of his significant other, and even killing them too. But through all of this chaos, Rogan's words are still ringing in people's ears. Kids of today don't learn." Celeste had a habit of running off, slipping away from home without anyone knowing where she went. For a 13-year-old, that kind of behavior was more than reckless. It was downright dangerous. And maybe, just maybe, it played a role in pulling her close to David in ways no one around her could stop. But even with that, there's one thing nobody can explain away: how her dismembered remains ended up locked inside the trunk of his abandoned Tesla. That single fact stands like a shadow over everything else, leaving the world stuck between questions and speculation. Was Celeste's death just a heartbreaking coincidence born from risky choices? Or was David carefully weaving this nightmare into his music the whole time, hiding the story in plain sight while the world danced to his songs? The questions won't stop until the truth comes out, and fans are demanding answers louder than ever. So what do you think? Was this just a tragedy of bad decisions, or something much darker, planned out bar by bar? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know your take. Hit that like button.
I check out Star Snitch.
Could you say no to this? Need it for your kids.
So, I'm back on the app.
I thought you were done meeting people online.
Never again. I'm at Zillow.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Source, your source for celebrity.
We already did that. Shit, I might do this.
That if I discuss politics for more than a minute, not only is the algorithm gonna shut me down. And see, Claudia Jordan just going ham on Dame Dash. Steve Harvey talking about his daughter's robust dating history. Ice Spice giving Cardi B her props. A woman who married herself, and a whole lot more.
Finna go old school on y'all. Finna go most scandalous Los Angeles. Most scandalous Los Angeles TV.
I love all my
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, the place where we expose the exposers. This is episode 5 of the Simon Says podcast. And today, Simon is pulling no punches. He breaks down the Tams incident with Claiborne Sloan and Terry Carter. He even opens up about everything from Whitney Houston and Ray J to Del Dog and CS2 Rack. Nothing's off limits. He's putting everything out there. This is one of the most revealing episodes yet. So, as always, let's get right into it. Hear what Simon says.
This is Global Carelink. You have a prepaid call from...
Sure, right.
An incarcerated individual at the RJ Donovan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Carelink.
And it's your show, man. Ask me whatever. Okay, but wait, I want you to finish that thought about your son, how happy he was to be a father, and with the pregnancy measuring stick, and then he got the son and the 2 daughters. That energy right there was so proud, right? The most simplest thing that we, yeah. It's just that I got all respect for. First of all, I love all my language, and I love the West Coast, number one. And sometimes when you gotta really think about it, a situation where we gotta guide each other, help each other. So even though, like I said, my son was telling me they can't pay him if they pay my man, that's not gonna make me take my son. I think we more powerful together, all of them. At the same time, you know, my boy is my boy. You know, my youngest is 15 to play basketball. Okay. Got 3 daughters. Baby.
The Big U enterprise had been extorting Victim 1 for years, and Victim 1 had been paying the Big U enterprise up to $25,000 per month when Victim 1 was at the top of his earning capacity. Shortly before the robbery, however, Victim 1 had ceased paying extortion to the Big U enterprise, as Victim 1 did not believe it was necessary or that he was receiving any benefit from the payments. On the day of the robbery, approximately 11 of the Big U Enterprises members and associates, including Robinson and Williams, both of whom Victim 1 knew well as Rollin 60's members, rushed into the dispensary armed with firearms and without masks. They demanded belongings of anyone inside and stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. At one point, they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robinson's
He changed it in the movie. He told you that the movie was just the Hollywood effect. They do what they do to sell, what you call it? Okay, let me just tell you this. Just notice. I won't say it again. There's only 2 people in there, change. Read you right there, one change.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we finally get to hear Porky speak on something we've all been waiting for. His explanation for why his name was changed in Greg Kading's movie. As expected, Porky plays it off like he has no idea what's going on, acting completely oblivious. The person sitting next to him on that very panel is none other than Reggie Wright, the same Reggie who originally pointed out that Porky's name was changed in the film. Reggie made it crystal clear that his name, Reggie Wright, wasn't changed. That small detail speaks volumes, because Reggie's implying that the only names that were changed in the movie were the ones tied to cooperation, Stutterbox, and CS2 back. You can read between the lines. The suggestion is clear. Names were only altered to protect informants. Salute to Reggie for even asking Porky this question. Now watch closely as Porky tries to spin it, dancing around the truth, downplaying the implication, and pretending like it's all some big misunderstanding. Keep your ears open. This part says more than he thinks.
Gene changed his name in the movie. Okay. Yeah. Gene. No, I know it. He said Greg, but I said Greg, but I don't want to answer the question. But I don't want to answer the question. But I don't want to answer the question.
Reggie is saying he doesn't want to ask him that question, because he's the one who told us Porky's name was changed in the first place. Reggie said he didn't want to ask that question. But trust me, if he didn't want to ask it, he wouldn't have asked it. This is how you know Reggie has had enough of good old Porky.
Who's that? He said, Greg, why did Greg change your name in the movie? Is what he's asking. He don't know. They changed everybody's name in the movie. He don't know. They changed everybody's name in the movie. He don't know. They changed everybody's name in the movie.
Did you see the confused look on Porky's face? Like he had no clue what was going on? Watch how Reggie just sits there and lets him lie and look stupid before finally coming in and correcting him.
Nigga, the dude that played Uncle Jerome, who pulled up in the Rolls Royce at the donut shop, is Stutterbox in real life. It's Stutterbox, yeah. They changed everybody motherfucking names in the movie.
Whenever Porky finds himself in a pickle, the first thing he does is scream Stutterbox. Crazy part about that is there were only two people's names that were changed, Porky's and Stutterbox. How convenient for Porky to perfectly call out the one other person whose name was changed. Lisa Swan's name being changed from Tammy Hawkins isn't quite the same, because sometimes she actually goes by that name. That's the name Greg Kading used when he was speaking about her on Vlad TV. But Stutterbox has never, ever went by the name Percy Locke. And Porky has never went by the name Alonzo Zoe Scott.
But again, you don't see me doing nothing but driving the truck, nigga. Standing in the back of the truck telling them, and really they was straight stunt magazines, that's what it was. Me and Casey had the magazine together. Like, the magazines, bro, what you looking for? I don't know. They changed some people's name and then they did change some, but to Wex's point is, he had nothing on that case.
Reggie is trying to help Porky get out of the trap that he himself set for him, but to no avail. Stutterbox told Greg Kading that Porky had weapons in his home, which makes sense now, being that Porky has went online bragging about selling guns to Crips so they can kill each other.
Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, guess who they had to come see to get their tools, bro? Maybe you all up. Whack. Crip niggas gotta come see me. Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, guess who they had to come see to get their tools, bro? Maybe you all up. Whack. Crip niggas gotta come see me. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know they go to war with each other, so I don't fucking niggas kill each other all day long. You know what I'm saying? Be Crip on Crip shit. Be Crip on Crip shit.
He's even claimed to have supplied entire neighborhoods.
They know who they is.
So you give them T-Ways guns?
Always, yeah. What is whole neighborhoods undergo? What is whole neighborhoods undergo? What is whole neighborhoods undergo?
So when law enforcement showed up at his house with a search warrant, looking specifically for firearms, and actually found them, suddenly, Box's tip doesn't seem so far-fetched. What makes this even more damning is the timing. Porky was already in the middle of fighting a felon in possession case in Texas, one that was later dismissed in the interest of justice, a phrase often used when someone is offered their cooperation in return. But at the time of the raid, he was still vulnerable, and the feds were looking for exactly that: leverage. They wanted something solid to hold over his head. Something they could use to get him to flip on Marion Knight. And finding illegal firearms in the home of a convicted felon fighting a gun charge, that's exactly the kind of pressure they needed. That's why he was arrested.
No arrests made other than Cash Jones.
It wasn't random, and it wasn't about living above his means, like Porky once claimed. It was a calculated move by the feds, designed to tighten the screws just enough to make him talk.
He found the tractor. I was a person of interest. Yeah. I wasn't because the person y'all should be mad at that, about that, on that, it should be Stutterbox. The guy you be up here defending, L.A.
Reggie said, I'm always defending Stutterbox. When did I do that? It's clear that just like Dupree and Kading, Reggie hates Stutterbox and protects Porky.
The guy you always defended is the one that lied on the man. L.A. sent his number, and I'll call him with Stutterbox on the phone, and Stutterbox will tell him.
You guys imagine me giving the federal informant CS2 back my phone number so he can call me on his wiretap hotline with Stutterbox on three-way, just to tell me what I already know.
Stutterbox, help me understand this. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro? Yo. Yeah. What is he saying I had to do with the case? Nigga, I was accorded. My house got raided. My truck got
paperwork. Wait, listen. In the paperwork, it said you tried to call dog, remember? In the paperwork, it said you tried to call dog, remember? In the paperwork, it said you tried to call dog, remember?
I thought
he wouldn't take your call. I couldn't hear you.
I talked to dog.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call.
Wait. And I think Mark tried to set the three-way up.
But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you. In the paperwork.
So Box just told Porky that in the paperwork it says that he tried to call Del Dog, and Del Dog did not want to talk to him. When you read the paperwork, the person that Del Dog did not want to talk to was a guy named Back, who was labeled as confidential source number 2 in the paperwork. Not only that, but in the paperwork, it was Mark Stevens who was calling Dog asking him. Not only that, but in the paperwork it was Mark Stevens who was calling Dog asking him if it was okay to give back his number. So Stutterbox is telling Porky directly that he is CS2 Back. Why do I need to give Porky my number to tell me anything when I just heard what Stutterbox told him directly?
Yeah. It's LA scandalous. That's what it is. You know, they build their channel. If they won't have a channel, they're not talking about me or you. Yeah. But I'm just addressing them, giving them the opportunity, to address their questions, because they'll never get us on their channel, But I try to get it, transparent, because we don't give a fuck.
While Reggie was saying all that, Porky was still trying to find a way to wiggle out of the box that Reggie put him in. Listen to his next failed attempt.
The Poochie character, the Suge, Biggie, Puff characters, the Stutterbox character. They changed Stutterbox, Teresa's. They didn't change my name in the motherfucker. They didn't change my name in the motherfucker.
Okay, let me just tell you this. Just notice. I won't say it again. There's only 2 people there that'll change. Reggie right there one change.
What about the cop dude who was fucking with Suge's wife or something? Oh, Kevin Gaines, yeah, that's his real name. Yeah.
Porky is over here searching for anybody else whose name might have been changed. I think he's finally beginning to understand that the movie he said he's watched over 1 million times was really the beginning of his demise. Now let's watch Porky go to his favorite deflect whenever the movie gets brought up.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did it. All you gotta do is look at it. Then get a truck bomber played everybody knew it was supposedly you, so they just trying to be. But you know how they knew that, Red? I told them. Yeah. I'm the one told them. They only know about the movie Because I told them. I told them to go look in the book. Now in the book, they didn't change my fucking name.
There it is, folks. Like clockwork. Every time you bring up the movie, Porky immediately tries to pivot to the book. The same book where Greg Kading went out of his way to paint Porky as some kind of hero. The same guy who's openly admitted to selling guns to entire neighborhoods. The same guy who bragged about putting weapons in the hands of Crips so they could kill each other. Yet somehow, in Kading's book, Porky is portrayed like a model citizen. Go figure. But let's not let him off the hook that easy. Let's stay. Specifically, let's talk about that truck scene Porky claimed he told us about. You know the one.
Jim and I have been tracking our trucker. He's made several trips to San Diego.
Which is on the border with Mexico.
That's the murder rap movie, y'all.
These same Mexico, our former
Goddamn murder rap. Y'all gotta watch that movie, Murder Rap.
That's not enough. Well, there's something else.
Every Tuesday at 2, Zoe makes a stop off his route.
We checked the address, but it's a vacant lot. It sounds like a meetup spot.
That's what we were thinking. He could be dropping something off, picking something up, hard to tell.
What's his location?
So this is when they pull up on Wack in the movie. I guess Wack was at the stop they was watching or whatever. He had to stop now. They like basically talking to him.
Legal officer. Just a little side hustle I got going. Okay, what's your primary home?
Construction equipment. I'm here in San Diego. Y'all can take a view if you want.
You're good.
Can't make this shit up. There's no way he's running drugs for sure.
That's the same scene Porky told all of us about. But what he didn't say, and what the writers of Greg Kading's movie conveniently left out, was the fact that while Porky was being pulled over on the road, federal agents were simultaneously raiding his house. Specifically looking for weapons, and they found them. But in the movie, they make it look like it was no big deal. Like Porky got pulled over, they didn't find any drugs, so they just let him go on his way. Clean and simple. But that's not the truth. It's a polished up version of events designed to make him look like he walked away unscathed, untouched. And this is exactly why Stutterbox said the entire movie was a lie. Because the real story, the one left out of the script, is that Porky was a felon already fighting a gun case in Texas, and the raid on his home turned up more illegal firearms. That's not something they could just sweep under the rug, unless, of course, someone had a reason to protect him. So when you rewatch that scene, don't just focus on what they showed you. Pay attention to what they didn't. That's where the truth is hiding.
Okay. You go pull the book up, you go to the murder rap, you go to the chapter study box, you see my pictures of my 30th birthday party, you see my name, real name, where you see Stutterbox real name, where they saying Stutterbox put them on me, they followed me for 9 months, only to find out I run a string of small businesses that was doing nothing illegal. Go pull up the book called Murder Rap, go to the chapter Stutterbox, you'll see my real name, my real face, pictures, Stutterbox name, Suge name, pictures of me and Suge. But see, they're not gonna go do that. You know why? Because it debunks the bullshit they say.
Exactly. No arrests made other than Cash Jones
So your Texas gun case was dismissed by an interest of justice. So this is what you gotta do, right? Not from a bad search. Why do you lie about that is what he wanna know. So go ahead. What do you mean? Okay, but see, I think what they missed in Reg was this. I only filed our motion. We stood on our motion. See, just because you strike a motion down, don't mean you walk away from the motion. Cause I seen you spend about $30,000-$40,000 fighting this case. I remember you showing me something like that.
Did you catch that? Porky has been claiming he paid $390,000 for his Texas gun case. But Reggie just called him out, saying it was actually only $30,000. To top it off, Reggie reminded him that he'd already shown him the documentation to prove it.
Okay. Now, hold on. I'm about to fuck you up, Reg. Okay. I had 2 attorneys. Okay. I had my point attorney in Cali, which you know who this is, but I never told you it was, because I didn't trust Texas. So I went to my attorney in Cali, and he said, I'm a Jewish guy to Beverly Hills. They hang me. They're not out there. So what he did was found the top attorney in that area. Okay. My attorney here wrote everything. You know who that was, Reggie? Who? Jeffrey Brody. Yeah, Brody. Yeah, I heard you talking about Brody before. Yeah. Right. Jeffrey Brody was my attorney here. So he wrote up everything and he sent it there. And then he was a top attorney in that area. So that was like our face. But I trusted it because everything he was doing was by Brody's direction. So the whole time, all we had was one defense, illegal search and seizures in the trunk.
Everything Porky is saying is for absolutely nothing. His case was dismissed in the interest of justice.
I don't know why they keep hooking up to the other damn thing. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second.
No, he was dismissed.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about in 2011 or 2010, right?
Yes, 2011, yes.
And that was dismissed in the interest of justice.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Obviously, it's kind of suspicious. This isn't normal, but I'm just looking at it from the perspective of I done heard motion to dismiss for illegal search and seizure, violations of one's constitutional right, but for I'm quite sure if I got caught with a gun, that they wouldn't be telling me to dismiss me for in the interest of justice unless
Exactly.
Let's make sure we highlight what we've learned in our first 2 segments thus far. First, we found out that Porky was lying when he accused Deuce of adding the word back to the paperwork. Then we found out Porky was lying when he said there was no CS2 back section in the paperwork, and that Deuce added that to the paperwork also. After that, Porky lied again and said the paperwork said CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. That's 3 lies, Porky told us, all surrounding the same paperwork. Here we are today, and we hear Porky lying about his case being dismissed due to an illegal search and seizure. And to add insult to injury, Porky also lied when he said he spent $390,000 to beat the case.
Right? I fought that case for 6 years. Now, Reggie, a lot of these dudes who really ain't fought cases, really been in this system, if you Google the definition of Texas law, when dismissed in the interest of justice, it tells you only one person can exercise this. The judge.
The judge. Every time Porky tells us to do something, we do it. And every time it proves him wrong.
Your favorite movies are on YouTube.
Enjoy the latest release.
Proves him wrong. In Texas, a case involving an informant can be dismissed in the interest of justice by a judge or magistrate, either on their own motion or upon the application of the prosecutor, if they believe it serves the broader goals of justice, according to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
Okay, so Reggie, although the judge struck down the first motion, it didn't stop Brody from refiling, right? Challenging their strike and simply shoving it down their throat. So you know what the judge did? The judge ain't stupid. If you got an arrested officer, right? Let's say he got 10 arrests where people been sent to the penitentiary, right? And the judge knows that what he's looking at, that if he gets to a court higher than him, it'll fuck around and be granted. Because the thing is, how did you get to the trunk? Right?
Yeah, legal search. Yeah.
Nobody's on no parole, probation.
Yeah.
The fucking drug dog never.
Yeah, you don't smell weed and no alcohol.
And
It's no reason.
dumbass bozo, I ain't never disrespected you. But me and Box, and I talked to Box when he called me. Box called me this morning. He said, what is Aunt Hefe bozo ass talking about? Talking about, you got my Rolls Royce shot up. Whack, my Rolls Royce was already shot up and gone before I even started fucking with you. But these is a lot of niggas who wasn't around. They play like they did, they play like they that. But this 2025, we talked about 20, 25 years ago when shit's going on, right? So let's get back to Texas. So you know what the judge did? He knows this nigga been sat here 6 years. He ain't ran out of money. Most of the time, niggas run out of money. I'm on parole, bail, where I gotta call in every Thursday. So the judge comes in and says, I'm gonna dismiss this in the interest of justice, right? My file is open. If you Google Texas interest of justice, Red, you should have our guy Google it. The guy that works with you. Google, John, Google the definition of a dismissal under Texas law interest of justice. And it's gonna tell you when the judge may deem that the evidence is a little shabby or this or that, the judge can step in and say, we're just gonna let the whole case go.
In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
Yeah, and the most important thing, y'all gotta understand, Wack allegedly went out there because his brother had just got killed the day before. So, and the guy that allegedly did this was found now guilty. If Wack was working with him, and this is me just talking, I never said this to Wack before. If Wack was working with him like these people want to try to indicate he was doing, trust me, that nigga would have got found guilty.
Reggie knows how to put you on the hot seat and throw you a bone to avoid detection.
But first of all, I was going out there to pick my mother up.
Okay.
But she don't like to fly. Second of all, Aunt Hefe talking about 2 California niggas on the freeway. Hey, dummy, I'm 40 miles from Oklahoma border. My license is Oklahoma.
Oh, in Oklahoma at the time.
That wasn't a red flag, stupid.
You know, when we got onto him, one of the reasons that we kind of believed Soderbox is that Cass was facing a pretty serious gun case out of I think it was Texas or Oklahoma. Right? So his brother had gotten killed. It looked like he was going back out there to kind of retaliate for the murder of his brother. I think his name was Zachary or something like that. So when we're hearing about him and we're like, shit, we can find this guy's got charges pending where he's got these fucking, assault rifles, and he's got an Oklahoma driver's license and all this. We're like, okay, maybe, this guy could be a serious player because of that. And so then when we came up empty-handed, and I don't know whatever happened to his tech.
So they followed Watt for 9 months. 9 months. They followed Watt for 9 months and didn't find nothing. When they finally tried to do, I guess, approach him, he didn't have nothing on him.
This case, to be honest with you, they don't take guns so seriously out there. They don't take guns so seriously out there.
Like, I don't know where you come from, you just be talking, but you sound dumb as a motherfucker. And you would never do a one-on-one like this with me, because I'll make you look dumb as fuck. This nigga is saying, watch this. Now this is what's crazy. I gave up the Main Street to beat the Texas case.
Well, one thing we know is that some kind of way Porky mysteriously ended up moving across the street from Stutterbucks, who just so happened to be a suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder. Porky's name ended up all in Stutterbucks' paperwork as Cash Jones and as C.S. Tubac. The paperwork said C.S.
So they said Stutterbucks' name in Biggie paperwork. Biggie death.
Tubac had given accurate and historical information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crips organization. All of this came after Porky caught his gun case. But Stutterbuck said his work against the Main Streets wasn't enough, and because of that, he said Porky had to give them something clean, so he had to give up Poochie from Compton, saying that Poochie killed Biggie for Marion Knight. This is the amount of work Porky was doing. Before,
if I'm not mistaken, I think Poochie did, right? Poochie did now, if I'm not mistaken.
He ever got next to Big U.
Why are we called Northern Tool and Equipment and not Northern Tool and Tomfoolery?
Big U.
Now this is where he's an idiot at. We all know, and Stutterbuck to tell you, he's the one brought the case on his homies, right?
Stutterbucks went in the police station at 3 a.m. in the morning and called and woke up somebody that I deal with from the house at 77th Division.
Oh,
So he needs to stop that all beat up.
We gonna get off by.
Okay.
Here's the common sense shit. In order for them, if I'm working two entities, right? In order for me to get Texas dropped based upon the Main Street, right? That means the Main Street gotta get convicted, right? The Main Street beat their case, dummy.
Yeah.
So what the fuck would I have done for the Main Street and the law to say, I'm gonna give you this, drop this? All the Main Street case got dismissed. I'm saying, I gave them the Main Street for Texas when the Main Street all beat their case.
Greg Katie, I just spoke years in the face. I give Greg Katie think he's in prison.
Right.
He got on stand and said he's in prison. Because after the niggas did what they did and whacked about what he did, they couldn't take them to jail because they weren't having to involve rap. They weren't having to involve rap. They weren't having to involve rap.
Porky keeps throwing Stutterbox's name around as if we don't remember what Box already laid out for us. Box made it clear that for Del Dog to be convicted, Greg Kading would have had to implicate Porky, which would have exposed him as an informant. The paperwork indicated that CS2 Back refused to testify due to fears for both his own life and his family's safety. Because of that, Greg Kading took the stand and revealed that Stutterbox had lied under oath when he denied ever working as an informant. This was the key to setting Del Dog and the Main Streets free. Kading proved that Stutterbox had perjured himself, and because of that, the Main Streets weren't convicted. Exposing Porky's role would have forced the authorities to reveal the intel he provided. Since they couldn't use Porky's intel to secure a conviction, Porky was now forced to offer Greg Kading something solid that could actually be used. According
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. This my Bluetooth keep acting up.
That he would flip on Shoe.
So Wack had to give him something clean. Wack gave him Poochie for Compton. Poochie for Fruitown Paru. He the one killed Poochie. No, Poochie killed Biggie. Right. For sure. And he Wack knew that inside information. He gave it to Greg Casey. Greg Casey closed his book and made Wack look like a hero. Greg Casey closed his book and made Wack look like a hero.
Now it should be clear why Porky is always...
They saying Poochie killed Biggie?
...is trying to talk about Greg Kading's book. Whenever you bring up the fact that Kading changed both his and Box's names in his movie, it doesn't take long before Porky interrupts to steer the conversation back to Kading's book. He does this all the time.
Put me in jail because don't take my dog in jail because it's no weapons of us. Right. So Wack told Greg Casey to close his book. Poochie from Paru killed Biggie. And closed the book and made Wack like a hero. And is that why he said, exactly.
Y'all don't run in the street. The feds run this shit. Law enforcement run this shit.
Man, I remember you, man. Reggie Wright and White 100. Can you please explain to these goofballs the Dale Dog case was a state case, not federal? Correct. Dale Dog was a state case. Yes. Involving all main streets.
The reason Porky emphasizes all main streets, the way he just did, is because he's trying to distance himself from the speculation. Porky wants people to believe that only main streets were involved in this case. And by making it clear that he wasn't directly from Main Street, he's attempting to convince people that he couldn't have been involved. A typical tactic of Porky's used to deflect attention and create a narrative that separates him from any direct ties.
Yes.
Right? Some other shit they threw me in that I was never arrested, never had nothing to do with. One Main Street took the stand on 7 or 8 Main Streets. All you gotta do is go pull the work up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it was a state case held in CCB court. Well, I'm gonna keep it real. Dude, when it took the stand in front of the whole LA, the whole court was streetmen and Muslims, dude walked in that motherfucker, took the stand in front of everybody for about 4 or 5 months and walked out and jumped in his Rolls Royce and drove off.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
I remember Captain Will. You know Captain Will? FOI.
Yeah.
Brother Will.
Yeah.
Brother Will called me and was like, yo, Wack, can you talk to him? I said, bro, talk to him about what? He's fully aware of what he's doing. He's doing it in front of y'all.
Yeah.
What you want me to tell you?
Could you explain his relationship? I know the answer to this, but a lot of people get him mixed up and call him Farrakhan's nephew. Could you explain that relationship?
Did it?
That is Farrakhan's nephew.
It's Farrakhan's nephew. That's not a lie.
By the sister, right? I'm saying I know that. I just want to.
So his dad, his father's sister.
Yeah, something about a sister I know. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, his father's sister is Farrakhan's wife. That's not a lie. That's true.
Down in Los Angeles. So you asking me to he told you, I'll get you and your boyfriend on the phone. You know who I'll call your boyfriend. And we'll call him. And he said he'll get you on the phone with Mark Stevens.
You gotta give Reggie an E for effort, because he sure acts like he's protecting Porky. Reggie and Porky both know we don't have to get on the phone with Mark Stevens or Stutterbox. We have all heard both of their testimonies, and both of them said Porky was CS2 back. I want you guys to listen close to what Porky says next,
bro, this shit
because he completely switches the narrative that he was running before, which is more proof that he is indeed CS2 back.
Now, here's Mark Stevens. This is the thing, right? This is the thing. If you gonna read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. If you read it, it says CS2 back. If you read it, it says CS2 back.
Do you guys understand what just happened? Porky just told me that I need to go read the real paperwork, not the fake one that Deuce allegedly made. Porky claimed that Deuce created some fake paperwork and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. But here's where it gets interesting. Porky then starts telling me what the real paperwork says. He says, it says CS2 back. This is Porky, in front of the entire world, admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic, just like Greg Kading said it was. But that's not even the funny part. The real kicker is that after we released the audio of Greg Kading saying Porky was back, Porky accused Deuce of making fake paperwork. However, when he said this, he didn't mention Deuce putting his real name in it. Instead, he claimed Deuce created fake paperwork and just added back to it.
He's winning credit on fake work and add some back shit. You don't see that, he's a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. He's winning credit on fake work and add some back shit. You don't see that, he's a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. But this is what's recorded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you gonna add some shit and you wanna make it believable, just put my real name. Why the fuck would you put something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, this is crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself. Same docket number right here. There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
Now, fast forward to today. Porky is openly admitting that the real, authentic paperwork actually says CS2 back, which directly contradicts his earlier claims that Deuce added back to it. So now, on Reggie's panel, Porky has completely changed his story, essentially repackaging his lie, which only helps to expose him even further. The contradictions are piling up, and it's becoming clear that Porky can't keep his story straight.
If you read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? He's winning credit on fake work and add some back shit. Read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
I really hope you guys can see what's going on here. If you didn't believe Porky was CS2 back before, I hope you believe it now. Initially, Porky claimed that there was no clause in the paperwork mentioning CS2 back, and that Deuce was the one who added that detail. But now, Porky is contradicting himself, saying that the CS2 back paperwork is legit, and that it clearly states CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer.
Purchase your tracks today.
To prove to the entire world that the CS2 back paperwork is real, and that Porky the Pyru is, in fact, CS2 back. Porky even told me directly to go read the paperwork, and I'd see that it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. Now I'm just going to tell you all right now, the paperwork does not say that. Porky is lying again. He's a master at spinning stories, but the truth is clear. He's caught in his own web of lies.
I ain't never had a dope case in my life. Yeah. If I was a dope dealer, best believe I wouldn't have been a low-level dope dealer. And best believe I don't have no family that I gotta worry about that live in the main streets. I'm not from Main Street. My neighborhood is probably about 18 miles from Main Street. 18 miles. So if you gonna read it, but again, you probably a dude from Scandinavia or something who don't understand what you read. You got to tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the streets. Does it fit my description?
Yeah. Porky knows I'm not from Scandinavia. If I was, his empty spin attempts might actually work. So what I do next is I send Porky a $10,000 challenge, asking him to provide proof before all of Reggie's viewers that the paperwork said CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer. You see, these are the uninterrupted lies Porky has been on Clubhouse telling for years. This is the reason he blocked Deuce on Clubhouse. Porky knows the kind of holes Deuce would poke through his lies. So he avoids him like the bubonic plague.
All right, Scandalous, this is your Reggie. Tell him I challenge him to $10,000 right now. You have to show it and put it in escrow. Everybody always talk about money, but you put it in escrow. And he say, I'll challenge right now on this live show us where it say CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask him that, Reggie, okay?
Bro, here's what he got to do, bro. Because the other Deuce M's created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said cash shows. Like, it was crazy.
Okay.
But this is what's retarded. If you going to add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you got to do is go pull it up under Liddell Ross. That's Dale Dog name.
Okay.
Pull that document up under that paperwork, then read it. Fuck with this bullshit they got. You gonna pull up Liddell Ross, right? And then read it.
Man, I'm sorry, y'all. Goddamn.
We gonna get into some of these
soccer.
These what you call I just read one page of the paperwork. I'm gonna read 2 more pages because Scandalous challenged them, and Reggie read it. $10,000 bet that WAC 100 can't go through the paperwork and show them where it says that CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer and a Main Street crip. See, this is right here is why Scandalous was tricking that, we already tricked him out of 2,000. Scandalous trying to trick him out of 10. You know what I'm saying? He wants the bag. Yeah, Scandalous, he tried to bait the niggas so bad. Well, he know he CS2 Back. So he know the Scandalous was too sure of himself. He was too cocky, right? So correct. Reggie read it, WAC listening, and it says CS2 Back. See, what WAC is reading, you see this stuff that's crossed out? Huh?
No, I'm listening to you. Just say, repeat that one time.
Look at the thing at the screen. You see the paperwork that's crossed out, the part
with the line at the top in the right hand. Well, it'll be my right top corner with the X going. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So right there, if I blow it all the way up, y'all should be able. No, that's as much as it goes. It says CI2, confidential informant 2.
Wow.
Right. And that's the low-level purchaser of crack cocaine, et cetera, right? You got a CI2, and then you got a CS2. So when his dumb ass can't read no paperwork, you gang goofy from when he was horny for Carrington. You know what I'm saying? You know that you don't know how to read no work.
What really happened here is that Porky was spinning. He knows the difference between CS2 and CI2, and he saw that the entire section for CI2 was blacked out with a marker. So why would Porky read the crossed out section, but completely miss the paragraph underneath it that just happens to be about CS2 back? But hey, it's all out in the open now. We're going to go through that paperwork, just like Porky told us to. And it's crazy, because every time we do exactly what Porky says, all we find are more lies from him. And the blame just keeps landing squarely on his shoulders. The truth is coming to light, and Porky's attempts to spin the story only make his lies more obvious.
So we thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? Scammers try to bamboozle the nigga. The nigga talked about CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer and this and this and this and that, right? No, that's CI2 back, right?
Right. I'm listening, yeah.
So CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. In the history of Main Street, and shout out to the Main Streets, they got a lot of legendary niggas over there that was getting to that bag. Richie Rich, all kind of dudes, right? Dog is one of the most known Main Street Mafia Crips that ever done it in South Central LA, right? Just the accomplishments he made coming up off the east side of South Central LA with his whole crew on. Nigga ain't on to my whole crew on, nigga. He did that. But anyway, CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning Main Street Mafia Crip organization. Good luck to Wack talking about he didn't ever snitch on nobody. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customers, flow of narcotic proceeds, and methods that they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I've been cool, man. Been chilling. Man. Just cooling, bro. Just doing my thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it hot, keeping it tight. What's going on though? Long time no see.
Gang member. Why would you say that it says CS2 back is a?
But hey, I might have to play one of these beats up in here, man. Like, yeah, I'm a partner up in here. My partner. Hold on. Let me see what I got. Let me see. I want to play some kind of jazz. I want to play some kind of. I can't play it too loud because it's late where I'm at. Let me see. We gotta play something smooth, like can't play nothing too loud, like it's too late. I wish I was on a spot though, like a big ass spot, like a building. I wish I had a building. I could just go in there and just crank that bitch and just turn it loud as I want to turn it. I had to play a little beat for my man though.
Low level drug dealer from Main Street Crip. When it makes it clear with this definition, he's only able to identify
Hey, hold
a
on.
limited number.
We got to hit the horn for Lucas, y'all. We got to hit that horn for that boy. It said. So you been doing some music? That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Hey, man, we need a link, man. We need a link and do some music together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need a link.
Main Street Mafia Crip gang member. How you from Main Street, but you can't identify but a few Main Street Mafia Crip members? The nigga ain't from Main Street. That was one of the clues, you goofy ass nigga. Goofologist.
Okay, cool. What city you in? What city in the country? You in America, right? What city in America you in?
101, nigga. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. And we got one more page. So with other leaders of the other large gang organizations, CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults.
Oh, okay. I know about Oregon. My ex-girlfriend, she had to go to work in Oregon. And she was like a traveling nurse. She went to Oregon and then she came back or whatever. But yeah. And then I got some homegirls, they from Oregon. Like there's some old white ladies. They like these ladies like in their 60s, but they cool. I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers got horses and everything out there in Oregon. They doing the big. But yeah, man, shout out Oregon. Shout out Oregon. You know, Oregon, that's where they got the Nike factory in Oregon. And I like them, they be having the Oregon Ducks. I love that shit. The Oregon Ducks is I like their uniform. Their uniform is that's it. That's it, bro. That's
Committed
it.
by Main Street Mafia Crips, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of the Main Street Mafia Crip because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the Main Street Mafia Crip
When my ex-girlfriend, like honestly, bro, she's my best friend in the world right now. Right now. To this day and forever. Forever. That's my ex-girlfriend is like my best friend in the world, bro. Like, and it was a beautiful thing that we was able to break up but still be each other's friends. And that shit was beautiful. But she was riding in Oregon, bro. And like when she was showing me like out the window, like she was showing me out the window and shit like that. Like so I was like, boom. I was like, and I'm looking at this. It was I ain't see nothing, bro. It was just land and sky. And I told her, I was like, bro, that's God's country, bro. That's God's country, man. For real. Like Oregon is God's country, bro. Like when you riding on the highway, you see that shit, nothing but it ain't. I'm talking about nothing. It's nothing. Like that shit's beautiful though. But it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I seen that shit. I was like, okay, so my ex girl, when she was working up there, she had went to the Nike factory. I don't know exactly what's. I think that's Portland. I think that's Portland. But the Nike factory, she went there, and like they had like a LeBron James building, Serena Williams building. They had a Tiger Woods building. Like that shit was crazy, bro. I was like, but I ain't gonna lie, Oregon, it looked beautiful, bro. I ain't never been there, bro. Like, but you know what I'm saying? My like I said, my ex gal went out there, but shit. I've been chilling, bro.
Criminal organization becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement. The organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Porky tried to create this narrative that CS2 back was a Main Street Crip, but we've just found out that was a lie. He also tried to push the idea that he wouldn't have to worry about his family being harmed by anyone, because they don't live on Main Street. But the paperwork tells a completely different story. It clearly states that CS2 back refused to testify, because if anyone from Main Street found out he was working, they'd quickly arrange for his execution. What's more,
they said they were gonna kill that boy.
CS2 back specifically mentioned that if anyone from Main Street found out, and he just so happened to live right across the street from Stutterbox, who was from Main Street, he'd be in serious trouble. Porky was afraid that if Stutterbox found out, he'd either come kill him, or he'd expose where Porky and his wife were living, putting them both in danger.
So, does it say anywhere in about CS2, did y'all see anything that said something about a low-level drug dealer about CS2? Not CI2, CS2. Anything about a low-level drug dealer? Or this declaration that this confidential source is a Main Street Mafia Crip member? No. In fact, everything in there seems to indicate that he has limited information about who the Main Street is, how the insides of how they're laundering their money, where the dope is delivered, but he was able to give them a little limited amount.
You can't give me an AKA. I ain't never been a back.
Well, it's very out of the ordinary for there to be an oncoming RICO and for so much of it to already be being discussed on social media and on podcasts.
Who was doing that?
When does that happen? You and 600.
Now that Lucy's in custody, Porky's doing everything he can to distance himself. The same guy who was backing every story Lucy told, co-signing all the lies, is now calling him a liar, saying he never believed a word Lucy said. Porky was the one verifying those claims, and now he's acting like he was never involved. In this video, we'll expose how CS2 back, being Loose Cannon's official handler, has been the Porky puppet master, pulling Lucy's strings from the very beginning. This is deeper than YouTube content. This is about handlers, the feds, and how the streets are waking up to who's really who. For anybody who still questions whether Porky the Porch Monkey puppet master is working for the...
Oh, my bad. Shit. The smoke good in Georgia, bro. Like, we got some of that. Yeah. Got some Gucci. It's good, though. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no bullshit. Now, I'm from Florida. We got some good shit down there, too. I ain't gonna lie. That shit in Florida be looking like... I don't know, bro. That shit in Florida be having crystals on it and shit. Like, that weed be looking so goddamn good. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this, like I got some weed in Florida. I thought them folk put a Christmas tree in my bag. I thought them folk put a Christmas tree in my bag. It was the that shit had crystals on it. I mean, that weed was so goddamn good. I was like, God damn. I'm looking like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on here? But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was on them shrooms before, man. Them goddamn shrooms, boy. Ooh. The shrooms have a nigga, boy. I can't. I had to lay out them motherfuckers, boy. Them motherfuckers, bro. You can't, like, when I get on some shrooms, I ain't doing shit. I'm gonna be inside I'm gonna be damn near sitting next to my bed. I might be playing the game or something. I gotta be near my bed when I'm on them motherfuckers. That ain't like smoking no weed or nothing. Damn. He said they got so much weed. Damn. I'm sure they do because the way the landscape is. You can have like you could grow different crops, like just different crops of weed. When I said Oregon is God's country, I meant that shit. Like when I seen like with that, I just seen the whole spectrum of you know what was actually going on and like the landscape of it. I was like, man, this shit it was beautiful. Like some shit from National Geographic or some shit. My people, what's up, my people? They back. Hey, check this out. Y'all heard that new y'all heard that new YFN Lucci, Young Thug, what else? I ain't hear none of the Cardi B yet. Have y'all heard the Cardi B? Have y'all heard what else? What else? Young and Age. Young and Age got a new song out too. Have y'all heard any of those songs? But let me see. Hold on. What a spiritual experience that shouldn't be taken lightly. Oh yeah. I feel you on that. Yeah, I feel you on that for real, for real. For real, for real. Like, nah, I wasn't taking it just to, you know what I'm saying, just to take it. I wanted to know what it was about. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I seen through the veil. Like, when you said, like, it's crazy, my people said it's a spiritual, basically a spiritual like awakening when you take certain things because it puts you like you're the frequency. You're like it's almost like Neo in the Matrix when you say, oh, okay, you want the red pill or the blue pill? Do you want to do this or do you want to see what's really going on? And when you do shit like mushrooms, ayahuasca, when they got a frog that got some shit on it that's psychedelic, like, bro, when you think about it, that's how people in the ancient times was able to get a lot of their knowledge and things of that nature. That's what I think. That's what I think. Oh, DMT, yeah, DMT. Dimetrotretazine. I know exactly what you're talking about. DMT. I know about DMT. Our bodies create DMT naturally, but like so like you say, you could extract it from plants and things of that nature also. When you get on DMT and things of that nature, you can have a million lifetime experiences in like 15 minutes. He said he smoked DMT. That shit is, you can release it through breathing techniques naturally. Okay, cool. I need to write that down. Yeah, I need to write that down. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Lucas, man, you got me all on the video. I appreciate you, bro. I thank you for coming in here, man. You my I like that's why I like doing this, bro, because there's people that I made connections with, you know what I'm saying, on this actual app called YouTube. And like it's people all over the world that I made connections with. And honestly, I want to say I love y'all, bro. Like I love these people that I engage with on YouTube. Y'all are some good people. I met some incredible people on YouTube. And I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much.
The feds or not, I want you to listen to what he said a while ago about Vlad TV.
Man, you gonna let you know that Vlad, look, I told you the other day, Vlad was working with the police the whole time. Vlad was working with the police the whole time. Yeah, you did say that.
So, Wack 100 said, Vlad was working with the police the whole time. But now, you and Vlad cool. Y'all sit in the same rooms together. So, are y'all all telling, are y'all like a telling choir? Are y'all a choir of niggas that's the feds? Like, what we got going on here?
Certain questions he was asking was direction from him. Certain questions he was asking was direction from him. The whole time he was paying us to come in there so he can do that. But they bid, they went for it. Now, if we continue, even like little Bootsy, to go over there with that who don't look like us, to go over there with that who don't look like us, he just showed his head. And cooperating with the law, motherfuckers. And cooperating with the law, motherfuckers.
right? And that's on y'all. That's what that is.
Did y'all catch that? Because Porky just said a lot in that little rant he just went on. He just said that DJ Vlad is working with the feds and that they're feeding Vlad specific questions to ask his guests. He also claimed Vlad is paying certain celebrities to come on his platform just so he can ask them the questions that the feds want answers to. Then he called out Lil Boosie by name. Porky said if Boosie keeps doing interviews with a guy who doesn't look like us, then he's showing his hand.
Lil Boosie, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Lil Boosie, I feel bad for Lil Boosie right now because he facing time. Hey, yeah, hit me up, bro. If you ever come to Atlanta, man, hit me up, bro. We gotta rock out, dog.
Basically saying that
We'll
Boosie
link up.
and anyone else doing Vlad interviews are cooperating. So now that we know how Porky really sees Vlad, and the people who look like us that sit down with him, let's take a listen to just one of the many statements he made on Vlad, who Porky again said was the feds.
After the murder, when Quando went back to Georgia, what did he immediately do?
Dropped his flag?
There it goes. What was he claiming?
Roll 60 script.
Where Brick Baby from?
Roll 60 script.
What you think the police told Quando?
That the Roll 60s set him up.
Who you think he checked in with?
Roll 60s?
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
That's
I'm
not
not gonna say it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm not gonna say it.
No, listen.
Oh yeah. No, I know what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we'll put it together. We'll definitely put it together. Bring the bass, bro. Bring the bass. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely put it
I
together.
already know the answer to this because I heard you don't say it on No Jumper, but I know a lot of people be asking, I can repeat what you're gonna say, but I'll ask it. Why did you get in bed or be cool with Luce and bring him on and start exposing him to No Jumper? I know the word is. Your enemy is my friend, but go ahead.
We had a TV show coming out.
Okay.
Because you gotta remember, I didn't really know a lot of shit from people Luce had dealt with, right? Because remember, you had an issue with him and I didn't know it. I guess he said.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He said some crazy shit about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Reggie right. Listen.
Paramount Plus is available on YouTube. Enjoy the Dexter universe.
It's me, Harrison. If anyone knows how powerful urges can be, it's me. I'm tired of being careful.
Oh, nah, we can definitely work that out. Nah, we can do that, bro. You just gotta, we just gotta send each other stems and shit like that. Okay, so text me on, I don't know if you got Instagram. Okay, so check this out. We gonna work with everybody that you know, I know, shit like that, put it all together. But hit me on my my Instagram. Hit me on my Instagram. If you hit me on my Instagram, we probably could, send files back and forth and things of that nature. Or I think I got Dropbox. I might got something like that. So yeah, we could just put the shit together. Yeah. Ain't no problem, bro. We good. I need like a live bass on top of some of my beats, cause I love bass. My beats be hitting like a motherfucker, but Like I be wanting the little bass that just running through it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got all that. I got the hits and doom doom doom. Like we doing that. We got the doom doom doom. But I want that. I want the bass running through it. Like just, you know what I'm saying? Like I want that bitch there like yee yee. Fuck y'all talking about. Oh yeah. We can do that too. We can do that too. We can do that too. 'Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. Probably when I get off here, I probably gonna make a beat. I'm gonna make a beat when I get off of this live. Like I'm gonna make me one. It's been a long time. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was doing that shit when I was fucking with y'all, like with Lucas and them. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Nah, I like, bro. I've been doing this shit for years, bro. I'm like, bro, I've been doing this shit so long, bro. Like, I got, bro. Hey, I got all genres down pat. Bro, I've been doing this shit, man. I've been doing this shit. All genres, I got them. Like they right here. They in a circle. Like they in a circle. Like I got all of them. Hey, y'all hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Whoever in here, hit that like button. Please hit the like for me. Hold on, let me see. I can't see that good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got my glasses on. I can't see that good. Birthday is a good sample. Birthday. Jimi Hendrix, Happy Birthday is a good sample. Or Get Out of My Life, Woman. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm gonna check them out. I be sampling this shit, bro. Like, I got a hard sample that I didn't put on this computer yet. Like, I gotta go to my computer in the back and transfer it to this one, but yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I got some good shit, bro. I got some good shit. So, like, basically what I be doing, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be off, like, I be off 5 days a week. So, by me being off 5 days a week, like, I just basically work on the weekend for 2 days, and then I just do the other stuff like during the week or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? And it works out. You dig? Yeah, it works out.
I'm tired of being careful.
Watch the new series Dexter Resurrection and get more of your favorites with MGM Plus, Stars, and more. Subscribe to Paramount Plus and other channels on YouTube.
Listen. Let me hear one more thing you talking about me, you fat bitch.
You said I'm one day ahead of everyone. That's funny. Oh, I'm one day ahead of everybody else. Yeah, I really am, though.
And I'm gonna expose your ass. You know the story what you was said, what they used to do when y'all was at death row? Yeah, I know. Don't make me expose you and make your fat ass get off that couch, bitch.
I thought you was protecting me. Some people would tell me you sickly mommy, but I know better than that.
Reggie might be laughing, but deep down, he knows the truth. And the truth is that Porky is the one behind Lucy's attack on him. Porky isn't just some background character. He's Lucy's handler.
Chuck, we all have a handler.
Stop it, Wack.
You know I got a handler. I'm Lucy's handler.
And one handler trying to do
I handle your Chuck. We all got handlers, Chuck. Chuck, we all have a handler.
Stop it, Wack.
You know I got a handler. I'm Lucy's handler. I'm Lucy's handler.
And one handler trying to throw
I got a handler. I handle your Chuck.
I didn't say you don't know the handler.
6 months ago, my handler, you ain't noticed, I didn't back up off the app about 50%. Because my handler said, Wack, contract about to close, time to start shutting that down.
Come on now, dog.
My handler told me that.
Come on,
My
man.
handler ain't gotta be.
Hey, that's the real Jimmy or that's somebody's shoulder?
What?
That's Benny. I already said him everybody. Oh, Benny, yeah. Benny, I told Benny to pull up.
Listen, a handler don't gotta be like, like Lou. Man, if I wasn't in this crazy year, this would have been on some other.
Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me. Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me. Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me.
Yeah, the handler is a motherfucker that you are listening to because you respect them and you know they got your best interest at heart. Lior has Kevin's best interest at heart, right? I got Lou's best interest at heart. I got Lou's best interest at heart. I got Lou's best interest at heart.
Whatever Porky says, Lucy follows. If Porky tells him to stand down, he does. But that didn't happen this time, because Porky wanted it to happen. He gave the green light. And Lucy's not the only one carrying out Porky's agenda. Porky is also SBGB-TV's handler. And right now, like clockwork, SBGB-TV is out here pushing the same narrative about Porky.
Back in the day, Reggie got caught up fucking with a dude named Sid that was working for Suge as a personal assistant. Woo! Hold up! Reggie White liked to fuck with those old boys. Hold up! Reggie White was fucking with them boys. Hold up! Or was he in the streets fucking around? We need to know. Cause if he was fucking with them boys, he looked like one of those motherfuckers, right?
The pattern's clear. The pork belly puppet master pulls the strings, and his puppet puppies dance.
So I didn't know nothing about this shit.
Yeah.
I called him. I said, yo, bro, what's this crazy shit you saying about Red? He was talking about like one of the security guards told him. See, this is how you know when you thinking this crazy shit. Tez or somebody's uncle talking about they did some sexual shit to you, right? Remember that shit?
Yeah, well, he said it was the Vivian or something, the accountant or bookkeeper or something.
You said Bob Jan. Bob Jan.
She don't trust black people.
I gotta write that down. Hold on. I'm gonna write that down. Bob
He
Jan.
came to me. And it was a manager dude he got. It's a white dude, bro.
Yeah, I gotta write that
The other
down.
day.
Bob Jan.
It's a white dude he got. Maceo or Marcio, some shit. But he the one originally called me. He like, yo, Luce County got this show, and can you help me market it? So at this time, Luce has said a bunch of crazy shit about me. Luce has said a bunch of crazy shit about me. Luce has said a bunch of crazy shit about me. But I didn't pay no attention because I didn't really know him. But I didn't pay no attention because I didn't really know him. But I didn't pay no attention.
This is Buick. Now. Buick. Exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Paid no attention because I didn't really know him.
By now, most of y'all should know. If Porky's lips are moving, there's a good chance he's lying.
Okay, I got you, bro. I got you, big
Porky's been doing everything he can to distance himself from the guy he handles. Now he's trying to claim that when Luce was dissing him, they didn't even know each other. That's what he's sitting here saying, with a straight face, like we're all just supposed to forget the past. Porky already admitted that back when Luce was going at him, it was all part of the plan. That Luce was being instructed to diss him, to make it look like they were enemies. So let's roll the clip. Let's hear Porky, in his own words, admit that he was pulling the strings the entire time.
You know why you know the footage exists? You know why Luce can't know that the footage I speak of is real? That's the baby mom. That's his fucking cousin. Oh shit, but I'm done. I'm gone. All right, Tyler. You didn't catch when I said you stupid. Luce been with me the whole time, you dumb, stupid ass. It was over there shaking like dinosaurs right now. God.
Luce has been with him the whole time. He made a diss song about wax. He made a diss song. That was the play to do that.
Come on, I got my niggas on the street right now.
That motherfucking loyal member underneath him. That's how you do it. You always keep one right there. Like, go at me all the time.
Dang. Luce been wanting to come out. I just didn't let him out yet. Luce been wanting to come out. I just didn't let him out yet. I just didn't let him out.
So Porky got that out of his own mouth that Luce has been with him the entire time. You heard his pet pedophile, Bacon Grease Beast, cheerleading and praising Porky for having Luce with him the whole time. Porky then went on to say that Luce has been wanting to come out, but he himself wouldn't let Luce come out yet. So like I was saying before, Luce does whatever Porky tells him to do, and you guys just heard it with your own ears.
You get what I'm saying? If you don't look on the thing, he said all kind of crazy shit about me, but I'm like,
It rolled out. You know what I'm saying? I think you're riding out for your homie.
Luce County?
You guys are doing a little bit of shady business together.
Not shady. Might be, me and Luce County been comrades for quite some time. We fooled the streets.
What about those
Luce County did something on me?
Yeah, and I feel like you're lying when you say that it was all premeditated and planned out.
It was. He told me that's what he wanted to do. I told him do it. So I looked at it, and he warned me to whack some shit on the internet, but he's really trying to market his show some bad for you. I said, what do you want? He wants you to get into the platform. So I brought him to No Jumper. If you notice, him and his wife is there. It's called The Beats, it's the name of the show. It's about urban flicks, right? So I had February, March, February to May. February to May was the run. So, you know, they paid me what they paid me. I took him there, and then I seen the academics. I had trick academics. I
You act like you was going. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, right. I know once he was there in front of him, he was gonna run the show.
He's gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah.
This is when he said the Carl Winslow shit.
Yeah.
Along the way. Attempted murders. You know, like all my whole record was violence.
In there, you just really don't understand how that inner city.
We don't fuck with, listen, dog. Listen, the only police we fuck with is the criminal police, the power rules and crips, the gang members. That niggas don't know they gang members. We fuck with them police, them the homies.
Yeah.
They do everything we need them to do. It's a lot of them out here, you know, they have to pull a nigga over and take him with me, take that. Them the police we fuck with. So we fuck with police.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Porky has really outdone himself this time. Reggie Wright and John over at Bomb First tried to help him, but somehow he still managed to throw himself under the bus. Just like every other time, we've caught Porky in another lie, and this time, it's serious. Today, we're about to prove that he really did go to jail. He really was picked up and brought in for questioning. Now, if you know Porky like we do, then you already know. He lies so much. We can't just focus on just this one. Before we even get into the jail story, we have to touch on some of the other lies he's told recently. I won't take too long on it, but let's go back to that story he told about being CK Wack and how that persona supposedly came to life in Soledad.
And I went to reception, and they put me in cell with a G homie named Baby Wayne from Billistown Power Room. And I think at that point is when my penitentiary training started. You know, because he had been to prison 2-3 times. The good thing about Baby Wayne was a knockout artist. And when you were a young Power Room in the cell with a G homie, you're gonna fight at least 3-4 times a week just because. So, you know, he kind of got me stronger with my push-up game, my physical game, and he made me squab him every day, almost. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. And Soledad was really, that was the birth. That was the birth of CK Wack. That was the birth of CK Wack. When I hit that yard. CK stands for Crip Killer. Cause see, I was Lil Wack. From there, I went to CK Wack.
According to Porky, he left Delano State Prison and was transferred to Soledad. And that's where the name CK Wack was born. The only problem with that is that in a separate interview from 8 years ago, Porky said he went straight to Soledad when he first hit the penitentiary at 16 years old.
Where the drug business came from, you know, I went to the pen, so you know, I was the first juvenile to actually go to California State Penitentiary at 16. Now you could throw it out, already ran through that. So at 16, I'm in Soledad. So at 16, I'm in Soledad. So at 16, I'm in Soledad State Penitentiary. So from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, 22, I run through like 7 different prisons.
You're 19 years old, you get out?
Yeah, I'm like 19. I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of solitary confinement time, you know. I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of solitary confinement time, you know.
Porky just claimed he was the first minor in the California prison system, being sent to Soledad at just 16 years old. But now, listen to this old interview with Vlad. In this one, Porky clearly says he went to Delano at 16, and that Delano was his first prison. So, which one is it? Soledad or Delano?
The prison bus came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up from Central Juvenile Hall and took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary.
Now you see right here, look, let me show you. The first one, it was admitted offender with new AOJ, that's adult offender juvenile, okay?
This is your first entrance into the system.
That's your first entrance into the system. He went to North Kern State Prison, NKSP. Now you see, he likes to play games. So you gotta understand, North Kern State Prison is Delano, okay? That's old Delano. They have a new Delano, which is a level 4, okay?
The prison bus came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary.
He'll try to say, I went to Delano to make you think he's been at a higher level than he been. He was at reception, right? Then, the next prison he went to was SADF, Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, which is the level 2, okay? That's where he paroled from.
I thought Porky said he was 16 years old at Soledad. I thought he said he went to Soledad after he left Delano. See all the lies you have to sift through when dealing with this guy?
He didn't go to 9 prisons like he alleges, okay? He got paroled. If you see, he got to prison on 131.95. He paroled 4/1/98. He got paroled. If you see, he got to prison on 131.95. He paroled 4/1/98. 95 to 98 is 3 years. I don't give a fuck what kind of arithmetic you try to use with it.
Porky got to Delano in 1995 when he was 18 years old. He paroled in 1998 at 21. That timeline makes one thing crystal clear. It was impossible for him to be at Soledad at 16. If Porky never went to Soledad, then there was never a birth of C.K. Wack. The whole story was built on a lie. Just another chapter in Porky's book of fiction.
Okay? But this is the kind of fraudulent dude that is out here on this internet trying to, you know what I'm saying, pretend to be somebody and something that he's not. You see what I'm saying? Go to the next one. It say return from parole, re-entry 3, which means the county jail. He never went back to the prison. You see what I'm saying? He was in the county jail from 6/2 to 7/25 of 98. Okay?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Then, 3 days after Christmas in 1998, same year, he got another violation. Return from parole, re-entry 3. He went to the county jail. You see what I'm saying? He was returned to parole. Then he discharged on 2/25/2002 from Region 3. Discharged from sentence. Okay? All that talk about he was in there for all this shooting and attempted murders and all of this shit, this motherfucker got one charge of 245 PC A2, okay? Which is assault with a firearm, okay?
So as you just saw, Porky never set foot in Soledad. So all that talk about Soledad was just Another lie. There was never a birth of C.K. Wack. That entire story was completely fabricated. Then there's the claim about spending 2 to 3 years in solitary. Lie. Being the first minor in the California prison system. Lie. Being 16 years old at Soledad. Lie. That's 5 lies in one story. Back to back. But this is what Porky does. Now let me show you guys how Porky fell on his own sword. You won't find this next clip on YouTube anymore, because Porky had Cheeseburger Chuck take it down.
Hey, Big Chuck, we just want to talk about when you gonna bring the audio from talking to them people. We want to know what he said. We can clear all this up.
Who's that, bro? That's
We
dude.
cleared up.
Yo, I just PCK always talking to me. We in the streets. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Every time he does this, it's a PC mode.
Always notice how Porky reacts when Deuce questions him. He can't stand it. He cuts him off, yells over him, or accuses him of PCing for talking to him on a social platform. But when it comes to DZ from SBGBTV, it's a whole different story. Porky gives him content and plays along.
Oh, what's up, homie?
Okay, yeah, as long as it's Wack on here, because if it's somebody else, they're not doing that.
Listen, I'm not doing that. Listen to me. Hey, listen to me. This real shit, right? We always know what we're doing, right? We always know what we're doing. And believe it or not, right? We are the most supported people of our people on the internet, right? There's a lot we can do. Remember, I'm an industry guy. I'm tired in the labels. I'm tired in the YouTube, right? So what I'm telling you, brother, is like,
the complexity of our company sometimes can be a little challenging. Planful allows us to be able to switch companies and what business units they're in from a reporting standpoint seamlessly throughout.
brother, is like, I called in to you intentionally because I saw you was billed. I didn't have to do that. People pay me to do that. I did it, I did it. Let me call in and give them the content. We always know what we're doing.
What's crazy is I was watching this live. I was actually watching this live when it happened. Like,
And I'm saying that to say this. At some point, bro, you run your content, but you gotta have some type of reserve when you're running it. Because remember, it's our content. You get what I'm saying? And then, okay, so doing these type of things, right? There's certain things that, especially when it comes to me as a public figure, right? I own me. You right? I haven't given you a verbal or signed anything, right? So what I'm saying is, as a brother, when I'm talking as a brother, fuck to people. When a brother is calling in to help you, because I'm giving you notice the content I gave you, you've been able to chop that shit up and run with it for about a month now, a couple weeks. Really, a month? Right, at least, right? But it gotta come to some point, bro, to where it's just not like an attack thing. Because then at that point in time, listen to me, to you as a brother, I'm a businessman, right? At that point in time, it's from friend to foe. I called in as a friend, no matter what our back and forth was. I chose to stay on the phone. I know, I've been doing this social media shit forever. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps them. You get what I'm saying? I know that. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps them. You get what I'm saying? I know that. So I'm telling you, brother to brother, run your content, especially gave you content. Listen, me and you have nothing to talk about it, because Son, Chuck, this is what you call a PC move. Bro, stop talking while you keep moving the people. Leave our shit in the street. Listen, every time you do this, you saying fuck your neighborhood because you on some PC shit. It's in the street, bro. Leave it where it's at. Means you don't talk like this. We leave it in the street, in the darkness. Why is everywhere on Clubhouse pop up screaming?
In the street. Stop it. I just left LA. You ain't in the power rooms. You ain't in Gonzalez. You don't hang in the parts in the garage. Remember? Weird ass niggas.
I know.
Stop faking. Yeah, stop faking.
You making Food Town Grill look bad right now.
So I'm one of the greatest things that ever came from the 30s, bro.
All Food Town Grills, y'all know when it's street business and it's up to the disrespect level of me and him, he ain't supposed to do this shit. It's a PC move. I'm gonna mute up Chuck. When he done doing the PC shit, I'll let you.
What
I say here to when he done.
Well, I didn't say nothing about me and you. I asked you about the statement that you made. If you stop waiving your Miranda rights, that means that there's a statement in audio. You need to go get that and prove you ain't CS2 back. So that got nothing to do with me and you. That's you trying to clear your name. Don't bring the police. The police can't vouch to say that you're not working with the police.
You got Food Town Grill looking bad right now, bro. We in the streets. You got, bro, stop PCing. Don't talk to me on no open platform. You got Food Town Grill looking bad as real gangsters over there. Why you doing this PC ass shit? I'm gonna mute up again, bro.
What that got to do with your paperwork? Bring the paperwork and the statement that you made to the task force and the FBI on the Main Street case and the Tupac and Biggie murder and clear your name. You say that the truth can never be considered different.
Hey Chuck, you know what be funny, right? This would be funny. I'm talking to you, Chuck. I ain't talking. It's when people say dumbass shit, it makes them look dumb. Chuck, I was in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999. When was Tupac and Biggie killed, Chuck?
96, right? 96.
96, 97, right? I'll mute up. But I gave a statement on him. I'll mute up.
Let's make sure Wack knows that he ain't fooling nobody. Hey, Wack, the Tupac and Biggie murder are still unsolved. That means it's still being investigated right now.
Your favorite TV shows are on YouTube. Enjoy animated series for the whole household.
Right now. We can show plenty of people who were in jail during the time of the murders, who gave statements about the murder. You ever heard of a jailhouse informant? You ever heard about Kenneth Bo Agnew? What about Waymond Anderson? Marion Knight and Studderbox were both suspects in the murder, and you were around both of them during the time investigations were taking place. So you could have very easily been giving the police information you obtained while being around them.
You gave a statement to the task force that was investigating that, Greg Cadence, and then the other officer that said you was arrested.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Chuck, if I'm in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999, what can I give a statement on, Chuck?
Listen, you admitted that Greg Cadence, that you went to
the Food Town Grill looking bad. You are saying some of the dumbest shit.
With Death Row though, like in
2001. 2001. 2001.
Okay.
This is how you don't know what you're doing left. Stop making the grills look bad, bro. Leave our shit in the street. It's already up. Chill out. You would have minded to what's up. You would have minded to what's up. Stop talking to me, bro. Why are you talking to me when it's on? It's doing a PC move.
The true person. All I'm talking about is your paperwork. Stop spinning, stop deflecting. When is you going to work?
It's so beautiful about the paperwork.
For the 60.
I don't have no paperwork, sir. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing.
Wack just claimed he has no paperwork because he was never arrested or even questioned. But you guys heard it straight from former Los Angeles Sheriff Michael Cowett. The only person who got arrested was Porky. Reggie and John deleted the clip, so don't bother looking for it on YouTube. Porky swore up and down that he was never brought in for questioning. Remember that.
It's so you to provide the paperwork. PK1, little white 100.
Or the whiteboard. Or the
Put that
whiteboard.
on Fruit Down Grill. Look,
Or the whiteboard.
put that on Fruit Down Grill. Put that on Fruit Down Grill.
Yes,
I know.
on Fruit Down
Put that on Fruit Down Grill.
Two back. On
On your dead home.
You CS2 back, aka.
I'm gonna go get to work.
All right, guys. Now that we've heard all that, and we've heard Porky himself say he was never arrested or questioned, let me show you how he actually threw himself under the bus. But before we get to that, I need to show you how Baum first cut out another one of Detective Michael Coette's key statements in his interview.
Do you know how she even came to play in the information?
Not fully. To the best of my ability, from what I understand, a lot of people were under surveillance, including Reggie Wright, and that they, somehow got some information on Teresa Swan, who was one of Suge's mothers to one of his kids, and that they basically wrote up a false confession letter and presented that to her to get her reaction, and then that pretty much prompted the confession. Am I accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
So,
did y'all catch that? The scene just skipped like something was cut out. Let me run it back real quick so you can see it again.
Yeah, something cut out.
On some stuff.
So,
Yep.
Paul Fournier, myself, and Jeff
cut out, right.
We already know Baum first removed the clip of Michael Coette, clearly saying the only arrest made was Cash Jones. They also cut out another crucial part of Coette's interview. And guess who exposed it? None other than Porky Chops himself. In a sloppy move to distance himself from the CS two-back allegations, Porky secretly recorded a conversation with Starbox, then ran to Clubhouse to play it. But while trying to clear his name, he ended up airing out a segment from Baum first, the exact part Reggie and John edited out to protect him.
Now, this next clip gonna make even more sense to y'all, right? You heard him say, I told the police, if y'all looking at Wack for doing anything illegal with them trucks, he ain't, which is a lie, because ain't no way they gonna spend $300,000-400,000 watching my truck if a nigga tell him that, right? I'll play the next clip.
Play that clip.
Are you talking about Teresa Swan?
Yes.
Teresa Swan was. Do you know how she even came to play in the information?
Not fully. To the best of my ability, from what I understand, a lot of people were under surveillance, including Reggie Wright, and that they, somehow got some information on Teresa Swan, who was one of Suge's mothers to one of his kids, and that they basically wrote up a false confession letter and presented that to her to get her reaction, and then that pretty much prompted the confession. Am I accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
So,
accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
How Teresa Swan came into play here is, originally we were following some guy around in the Antelope Valley, and Greg had thought that this guy was going to be able to get us to Suge because he had some relationship with a not so famous rapper at the time, and he somehow thought this guy was going to get him into Suge. So we chased this guy around in the Antelope Valley for several months, and really nothing.
Hey, Academy and Karma Cafe, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification piece on one.